got 11 seconds.
Each second still showtime. Here we go. We are talking about the Denis Villeneuve. I just like saying his name in French accent. Hello, you beautiful nerds. Welcome to the Drunk Banthas podcast, where we talk about sci-fi, fantasy, horror, and all the popular art that we love. Also, we do it drunk.
Mostly
drunk. Always encouraged, but never mandatory. I'm joined as always by my co-host, Brother Bill. How you doing, bruh?
I'm doing good. I'm doing just fine.
I see what you did there.
Bro. Yeah, man. I'm doing all right, dog.
Doing all right.
And you know why I'm doing okay?
What's that?
I'm doing it all right.
What's that?
It'll be my birthday at midnight.
Oh,
that's
right. That's right. You're looking at the birthday boy.
That's right.
If you guys are on the
I used to do
East
that
Coast,
on the podcast. Remember, I used to do that on the podcast.
Yeah, that's right.
On the Bill
yeah.
That's right.
Oh man, so excited about.
So if it's midnight where you are and you're in the chat, if it's midnight where you are, I'm gonna keep saying it. Wait, when is midnight gonna happen for people? For other people?
1 hour 42 minutes.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Boom.
Yeah.
We
might be talking about Dune by then.
We'll definitely be Dune. Well, no, I don't care what we're talking about by then. But you just say happy birthday to your boy at midnight, time. Whatever time midnight happens, say it. Say it.
Yeah, guys, put it in the comments. Happy birthdays to the birthday boy Bill here. Everybody loves alliteration over here.
Yeah.
Birthday boy Bill. Put it in the comments.
Holla back. But
tonight, guys, we have a really great show. We're talking about Halo. We're talking about FX's Shogun premiere. We're talking about Dune Part 2. And if you're new here and you don't know, as always, we're talking shit.
Right.
But before we talk about what we're talking about, let's introduce our panel. We got John.
I'll do it with the blunt.
Oh, yeah. may thy knife chip and shatter.
Man,
we're going to be I'm so ready to geek out tonight, man. I'm so excited.
Scroll time.
I can't even hide it.
I'm ready to talk about the news, baby.
John Blackthorn, welcome back to the show. How you doing, bud?
I'm good. I'm excited to talk about some nerdy shit. This is we got a good week here.
Yeah, man.
We've got a good month coming up.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be crazy, y'all.
We got a lot of cool stuff coming out.
Definitely. But also we want to welcome Nine. He has been chilling with the Fremen.
Yeah, he's got his
he shall know their ways.
He's got the Earth Still suit, which is a little different design.
Yeah.
Shout out to whoever that dude was.
It comes with the USB, actually.
Shout out to that dude who was riding around on that worm that he created, and he was riding around the movie theaters. And I'm pretty sure that was in Burbank. It looked just like the AMC that we go to.
That I would not surprise me if it was like the AMC.
And then everybody, I know it was LA because nobody was acting like they knew who. Like they was acting like nothing was happening. Everybody was just like,
look,
I'm not going to give you any money, sir.
I want a Dr. Cup.
Leave me.
There's one dude's just driven by you 2 times with a whole suit on and a fucking worm on a scooter, looking like he's really going, bro. That shit was wild. Shout out to you, sir. If I had
that's either LA or New York where people aren't paying attention.
Right? Yeah, it's like, oh, that's old news.
Yeah, no, I swear, me and Alex saw Madam Web in that same theater. I'm pretty positive.
Yeah. Oh, it's a different energy.
Shout out to the people at the AMC. Shout out to people at the AMC. They've had to deal with people who actually like that movie, and that must be a different type of person. You know what I'm saying? That must be a person that is like the scum of the earth. Yeah. So shout out to them people who have to deal with that.
There's a term for that type of person. Wrong.
Oh, wrong.
Wrong.
Yeah, wrong.
Just not right.
Less syllables.
Just not right. You know, I just realized just not right is Can't Get Right, who is a star in the show we're going to be talking about.
That's
coming
Bo
up.
That's
Bo Keen Woodbine. in the show Halo.
See how we segue? He's trying to get good at this, people.
I'm trying.
I don't have to segue the whole show no more for the day ones.
It's not that he is getting good at it. He's trying to get good at it.
He's trying to get good.
It's almost all right in here.
It's almost all right here.
But we're talking about Halo Season 2, Episode 5, Illyria. This was an interesting episode. Things slowed down a little bit after the action-packed episode we had in Episode 4. As the Silver Team is concerned by a brute chieftain, Quan Ha and Layra arrive to rescue them. Though Riz is severely wounded, recovering from Vanek's body. Recovering Vanek's body. Recovering from Vanek's body.
That's a very different show.
Yeah, that was before.
That's some old school Showtime Red Shoe Diaries right there.
I didn't know you was going to be giving out all my information. That's personal. What me and Riz do on our time is our time.
Yeah, that's gonna be like the extended like backdoor pilot. Heyo. After seeking refuge on the planet Illyria, a crematory funeral for Vanek is held, and John swears to hunt down Perengoski and Ackerson, ignoring Halsey.
It's Cosby.
Sorry, guys. That joke's behind the curtain. But yeah,
first time he gets a white woman's name wrong.
Ignoring Halsey's request for him to focus
400 billion years in the future
to focus on finding Halo instead. Halsey operates on Riz, but having suffered significant damage, Riz decides to remain on Illyria to find a normal life.
Does she?
She does.
No, I mean,
she's doing a space barn raising. She's becoming space Amish. That's
was that not like a lesbian camp? Like,
I mean, like, they had a look.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, it looked either it was a cult or it was like a lesbian internment camp or something.
Like
Porque no dos.
Porque no dos.
Guys, put it in the comments. Let us know. Also, happy Women's History Month.
Hey, look,
month.
Look, I'm just saying. First of all, every month is Women's History Month, baby. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, we celebrate everybody all the time, especially on this channel.
Sorry, I was about to do a Jackie Moon impersonation just then.
Jackie, gonna love me sexy. Future doesn't hold up episode.
Love me sexy.
But yeah, what did you guys think of like this arc that's going on between like Riz and John? Because a lot of people are having to make some interesting choices. I guess we can focus on John a little bit first, because he has to come to terms with the death of.
Y'all ever seen Dear John? You remember Dear John? Y'all ever see Dear John?
No, but I left a few letters.
Is that the one where she like cheats on the army dude or something? I don't know.
Yeah, she like leaves him. She like leaves him a letter. It's a Dear John. Yeah. John shows up.
That's what a Dear John letter is.
Sparks joint.
Right. Yeah. No, I'm just saying, like, you know,
Judd Hirsch, I think.
Yeah, Judd. I think it's Judd Hirsch. Yeah. But anyway,
or Nicholas Sparks, I should say. Nicholas Sparks joint. He does like Walk to Remember.
Yeah. Actually, I don't know if that
was him or not. But I do remember the song, and also, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to jump. So, Dear John.
Dear John. Yeah, what did you guys think of just like John's sort of arc in this episode where he's coming to terms with mortality, or at least accepting it in a different way than
John,
normal
like
people do? Nite, I'll let you go first.
Filmmaker says,
I did watch this.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. I forget every single week. It's like, I'll let you
real
go
quick.
You obviously really want to talk about this. No, John Blackthorne. What did you think of
Dear John?
Dear John.
Dear John Blackthorne.
I thought it was good. I thought it was better than Riz's, although I didn't think Riz's was bad. I thought Riz's made a lot of sense. I mean, frankly, just her body keeps breaking. She has to eventually just kind of face facts. I was a little worried at the beginning of the episode because I was like, Jesus, are you just killing off the last black person on the show? What is with you guys? Like, you have a problem at this point. So I was glad she survived, but I agree that that's just kind of the natural progression for her character. And I also feel like this is natural progression for Dear John because, he's no inhibitor chip, no Cortana. It's like just finally starting to really, at least last season was a big part of him just like trying to be his own person. And this is the first time. So it's awkward because he's still a soldier. So people dying is a very normal thing. But this is the first time like someone really, really, really close to him.
That's right.
I think he's been responsible for has died. So I liked it.
I'm so glad that you said that because me and Alex, we talked about that a couple days ago, maybe yesterday. I don't know. Master Chief.
Master take good care of us. Master eat.
Man, no wonder they're killing all the black people off on the show. Jesus, was that guy running the things?
Well, Master sick, we sick.
It's definitely man. We could write like a really scathing op-ed. It's like, why is the Master the only person who has to live, and all the black people have to die? We can bring the Rotten Tomato score down, guys.
Yeah, no, Master, look, man, I'm not. Look, Master Chief, he going through it.
Yeah. Are you gonna talk like Stephen Fetch at this all?
Not Stephen Fetch, talk like this.
Yeah,
why you gonna talk crazy about Stephen Fetch? No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I gotta get these jokes. I need to start doing open mics. I gotta get these jokes. I gotta get these jokes off somewhere else, man. This is taking up time. But Master Chief, we said, he's going through loss, like Jeff said. For the first time, we seeing him really deal with high stakes.
Yeah.
Last season, he was just wandering around looking for a purpose.
Yeah, it was definitely very much a discovery story the first season.
Discovery, yeah. Find yourself on your own time.
Which, by the way, I started watching the first season. Good God, you guys were not kidding. Even just the lighting is like, what the fuck are you doing?
Right? It's so
bright.
You guys are 100% right.
It was too bright.
I'm amazed that they kept all the same actors and how much more all those actors somehow stepped it up.
Well, it was just the writing. When you know you're on a bad show, it's like.
Yeah. And also, it's writing and directing because, again, to your point, when you are given good lines, you're more passionate to deliver them in a good way,
and also direction.
But yeah, also direction. Good directors get good performers out of their actors.
Shout out to Morgan, by the way. He said happy birthday to me. Thank you. And you weren't late. You on time, baby. You know what I'm saying?
You're never late because we are always on CP time.
That's right, baby.
But yeah, I did think that that whole arc with John was interesting, especially with Quan being sort of like
Rich homie Quan,
emotional, sort of like the heart of this whole interaction, kind of the season. She's like the dark heart. She's like she will kill you in the night, but she also has
she went from white hat to dark hat, black hat.
Yeah, she could change that
real quick
she's
from
the
episode man to episode. In black.
She's the emotional Sherpa.
Yeah,
the emotional Sherpa.
She's like in Westworld, She started out, she was the white hat.
Yeah.
Now she the black hat. See, because she done been through it. It. She done been.
But she still surprisingly has more heart than John. And we have an interesting little moment during Vanix.
You forget, man. John ain't got, he don't know how to deal with feelings.
Yeah.
So, he just took his chip out not too long ago. It ain't been that long.
Yeah.
And, he like, damn. Like he acting like a 13-year-old or a 16, 17-year-old that's really responsible. Yeah. He's just, having bad reactions because he never felt these feels before with all this testosterone.
Yeah. Did they ever explain how much time's between the two seasons, or are we just supposed to guess?
They said a few months. I forget exactly.
Months? Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
They said it in the first episode. I think it was 3 to 6 months or something like that.
Yeah, but you know what?
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes more sense.
The exposition for it was so fucking dead on. We don't even know how long it's right. We don't even remember because I would remember because I'd be like, oh no, they said it. They said it a lot.
They said it was 8 years ago.
Yeah, the exposition on this season has moved like shit through a goose. It's just
No,
like
Morgan.
smooth and
Your chats are showing up tonight, dog. I just said something. You just texted me, or you texted me too. Showing up.
But yeah,
we see two comments from you as of right now.
Yeah, I don't know if there's more than that, we don't see them.
Yeah.
Also a blue wrench.
Wrench?
Yeah, he's a
he's a moderator.
admin.
There
He's
it
a
is.
Moderator, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I see what you mean. Okay, speaking of Quan, she has a strange vision. Strange vision during Vanek's funeral. She sees the sanctuary shaman from the first episode, who orders Quan to remember her role as the protector and ominously warns that the monster is coming closer. Bill, what did you think of this?
Man, I was hyped because remember we was like, yo, first episode we were like, yo, she had way too many lines for them to just have killed her, and she have no purpose.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah,
so
everybody pretty much said that.
Yeah, I'm saying not on any other show.
Right. No, yeah, just everybody.
They didn't catch it.
Everybody, all the smart people on this classy show.
We catch it here. That's why you catch us every Monday, 8:00 Pacific time. That's what I'm talking about.
Indeed. Pacific-ish. Or 8 p.m. ish. But what about
p.m. Wait 15 minutes. Look, you go to the movie theater and you sit goddamn and wait, don't it?
Yeah, you gotta let Nicole Kidman tell you how good the movie is.
Yeah. We gotta actually, you know what? We gotta get a trailer and just play that bitch. Just have a trailer going.
Real quick, I saw. Yeah, that would be real. Actually, I like the idea of that. I saw a movie. I saw a movie recently, and they changed like the Nicole Kidman AMC thing, and it was like slightly different at the end, and I could feel the energy of the room. Everybody was like, "What the fuck?" Like people were like, like people were like screaming and crying at the screen. It's like, you can't do this to me. It was funny. But yeah. Anyway, John, what did you think of like this vision that Quan had?
Well, my first thought was that bitch should look a lot crispier. I mean, she yeah. No, that's not quite right. Then my next thought was Chicks Mufasa. And then my last thought was like, all right, I guess we're vision questing now. We're adding ghosts to Halo. Why not?
Why not?
Yeah, like right? So for you guys, because you guys know more about the lore, is there more of this like ethereal, spacey, ghosty lore in Halo 9, or is this all new for the show?
I'm sorry, I was not paying attention.
So one of the characters starts like seeing visions of this dead chick, and she's like Rafiki Mufasa-ing this girl, but she's a ghost. Are there space ghosts in Halo?
Yeah, there is this kind of like religious undertone where there are space spirits, but that's more goes into like the book lore than the actual representation in the game.
That's crazy because they are a religious faction, it seems, you know. Mm-hmm. And these people on the planet that they're hanging out on wear the same garb that they wore on that planet.
I thought they were people at first.
And also they had some strict rules about burial, so that shows you a religion.
Yeah, they rolled up real.
Yeah, they when Rich Homie Quan acted like she was gonna put what's his name's body in the Vanek's body in the ground. They came out there like she was pouring toxic sewage into the dirt. She was like, bitch, I can't do that. First of all, who the fuck told you could put a nagger in our ground? We plant grapes over there. We supposed to just be eating dead nigger grapes. You think we gonna eat dead nigger fish, dead nigger tomatoes?
They rolled up and was like, do you see a sign that says dead
nigger? No, I think I have a feeling why you oohed just there.
Yeah, exactly. Look at these KKK.
Oh man. Oh god.
Grand Dragons over there, man. I'm trying to tell you, look. Because she was,
yeah.
We ain't gonna have no dead nigger tomatoes. What's wrong with you?
Imagery is way more evocative now thinking about it.
Hey man, I just point out what's happening, baby. You know, 200 or 600 years in the future, we can't get rid of the KKK.
Right? It reemerges.
Space KK.
Space KKK.
Yeah.
Space KK. Bill, I will say it's a little funny that you mentioned everything you said was funny, but also
thanks.
My first thought, well, it's extra funny to me because my first thought when they're all mad that she's burying him, I was like, so like the implants or whatever to make them stronger, is it like toxic? Are they like, no, we're fucking trying to, I honest to God was like, are they mad because they're trying to farm? And they're like, don't put that fucking metal on our farm.
Yeah, I was like, they were like, don't put dead bodies where we grow food. That is gross. What is wrong with you? They're like, what is wrong with you?
It's reasonable.
My children play over here. Could you take your dead body somewhere else?
Well, Kwan's over there just telling them to expand their craniums or
open your mind.
There it is.
Oh.
There it is.
Open your mind.
There it is.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Then later on,
I missed that cue because I wasn't doing any shots.
I was like, what is he saying?
I'll do more shots. I'm sorry. I'll do more shots. Forgive me.
It's okay. I forgive you. I'll try and set you up again later.
Elsewhere, Soren and Lyra seek out Kessler, their son, because they sent him out on a transport for his own safety, but they only discover that he was taken by the UNSC. It was kind of really gripping and dramatic. It's a really super sad scene between this family and
like it
and Soren.
Hated it.
You hated it?
Yeah, man. What the fuck is up with this shit, man? Why is it that dudes always, I ain't gonna say always, but like we have to take down a dude in a movie or a TV show, like when it's a father and it's a black man, it's always got to be like he ain't being a good father. It's so weird, but he got kidnapped. He didn't leave. He didn't like go out.
In her mind, that's still his fault though, because he didn't have to go follow the clearly, obviously trying to trick you guy.
Right.
Well, it wasn't clearly obvious because he went with his crew, so they turned on him. So like the whole crew came back. That means they were in on it, meaning that they were the ones who brought him into the fold. So I just feel like that's out of his control. Y'all are in pirate life. She was fine with the pirate life when it was all sweet. The pirate life's for me. Shiver me timbers. You know what I'm saying? She was all on that. She said, "What be your pirate favorite letter of the alphabet?" R. You think it'd be R, but it'd be the C. She was on all of that. She loved it.
What's his favorite sweater?
Argyle. Also my favorite movie this year.
God, I can't wait till fucking Deadpool comes out so he'll shut up.
I will never shut up about Argyle. It is my 2023 idol.
Does it?
But
no, it doesn't.
I did like the idea of they're just things aren't always perfect in relationships. They are clearly at their bottom. They've never been in a worse.
Sometimes he forgets to put down the toilet seat. Sometimes your child gets kidnapped. It's normal relationship stuff.
Normal relationship stuff.
Yeah, and then she was mad at him. She was mad at him because he was like making friends with people. Like, hey, I don't know if you noticed, we're looking for our son. We can't just be cussing everybody out right now. I know it looks like I don't care, but you know what I'm doing? I'm fielding questions.
Right.
Thank you.
Yes, but I like that.
Right,
I don't think that you're supposed to. In my opinion, I like both of their reactions because they're not going to react the same way. Like they handle chaos in different ways because they're raised in different ways. And I like that they have a little, butting of heads here, but then they come together because no relationship is perfect, but they're still they still love each other and they still are faithful to each other.
I also didn't like, because I'm gonna be quick, Jeff. You can go. I didn't like.
You're good.
The wig thing. Like
that was just such a weird.
That was a
like
choice.
No, they did that because what's that show called? How to Commit a Murder or whatever. Like
how to get away with murder. Yeah,
when old girl
with
takes off
Viola.
Viola Davis takes off all her wig and her makeup and all. Like, that's all they was doing right there for the white effect of taking off. And now she took off because she took off her wig, and guess what? She has hair under there, and it's brown.
Like, I was like, I've seen Utopia. I know what you look like.
Yeah, it was a reveal that was kind of dumb or unnecessary.
It felt like The Last Jedi when Kylo breaks his helmet is like the directors of this season were like, I never liked the fact that this actress wore this goofy ass wig. We're taking it off right now. We're leaving it in the past. Let the past die.
I don't get it. I didn't get it. Maybe that was her saying, I'm officially not happy with the pirate life. This is not for me. You're welcome.
John, what did you think of just like the revelation of like the whole Kessler situation? Did you think that was Kessler, or would you immediately know it wasn't?
So the second he stops and turns around, I'm like, not him. Duh. Like, this is too easy. Yeah. If anything, I thought that when they like found the house and everything, that when Soren's like, let me go talk to him, I thought it was going to be kicking a damn door in and beating the shit out of some people.
Me too.
Like, it's your fucking kid and you're an ex-Spartan. Fucking beat someone's ass, man. That chick with the shotgun? No, nothing. Especially when your wife's not in there. Come on. But what I loved about it was when his wife goes in and starts just like going full on Sin City with the barbed wire and just like, yeah, you're gonna listen now.
Dope.
I was like, yeah, that was she was fucking scary, and that was
great
awesome.
scene.
I really like this.
She also still had on her wig when that happened.
Yeah,
no, she didn't.
No,
she didn't.
Because he goes, I didn't recognize you without,
Yeah, yeah. He's like, but I did recognize you immediately, even though.
It's like there's only one person who's walked through those doors with those cheekbones. It's like,
which
very
the one thing I'll say about it was
alienized, right?
Yeah. They're bigger than they should be.
Okay.
Yeah. She's got the Chihuahua shit going on, you know, like half her skull is eyeballs.
No shade, by the way.
Yeah,
still a beautiful human being.
No teeth, no shade, no pink.
No, not that one. No. Half her skull is teeth.
White woman.
That one.
It's a whole different white woman's.
There.
This that white woman in the background.
Yeah, she's got cheekbones and teeth, and then the rest is just CGI'd in.
Hey, that's Master Chief. That will Master Chief. Yeah, that's her.
The one thing I will say about this is like when they first go and talk to the shopkeeper, he's clearly fucking lying. And again, Soren, you're an ex-Spartan. Scare the fucker, break a finger. I don't know.
He's like a baby ex-Spartan though. Like,
is this the
more
shopkeeper?
so. Yeah, and he's more so of a Spartan than this prick ever was. He's being testy with you and your kid. You're sitting there like, hey, we're looking for our son, and he's like, who says he's here? Someone might have bought him.
There should have been violence. Yes,
break a finger.
There should have been violence.
Yeah, I'm surprised that she was the one who resorted to violence in this.
I wanted to resort to violence, but I'm trying to find my son.
I will say, her resorting to violence made it scarier, which was a smart move on the writer's part at that point.
Right. And they didn't have to show violence. Did she resort to violence? Or didn't she?
I was really hoping like she was going to turn and like you're just going to notice like some specks of blood or something. But no.
Yeah, something. Give me something.
Yeah, I was expecting something to be different when she came out. But no, unfortunately not.
Whatever.
But
it don't matter.
But let's talk about the ending a little bit. As we suspected, Kai is shown to have successfully evacuated Reach
that
previously with and prepares to lead she prepares to lead a unit of Spartan 3s on the planet Onyx. What did you guys think of this tag? They got my girl turned heel. She's a bad guy now.
Yeah, man.
John, what do you think of this ending?
I thought it was stupid, and when they show all the little Spartan 3s, it's like they just look tiny. Like, is that supposed to be impressive? Because they're gonna die so fast.
I was surprised that there are so many Spartans because I didn't know that there were this many. Because it seems the first season makes the Spartans.
I don't think
program
those
seem
are really
very small.
All of those weren't Spartans, though, were they?
Well, that's what Wikipedia said. So I mean, I don't know.
Fuck up, Wikipedia. Wikipedia doesn't know shit.
And this is Spartan 3, so I don't know like what level like that is, or like how these guys are different from the Spartans we know.
Well, let me tell you.
But what did you think of this ending? Yeah.
Fuck. Well, I'm gonna let John go first because mine has a lot of curse words.
Yeah, John already went.
Oh, no, I went. I said she's a dumb shit, and the Spartan 3s look teeny tiny. Like, dude, a decent gust of wind's gonna break all those Spartan 3s' backs.
Yeah, I don't know Spartan 3s. I don't even know what that means, man. What the fuck that means?
That means you get you get the home white jersey. That's
I'm like Spartan 3s. Do they come with boost technology, or do they got the pumps on them?
Yeah, this has got 4G.
Now we're going backwards.
Spartan ones
like the Nokia brick. Nothing breaks it. These new ones, you're lucky. I mean, you can close it too hard and it snaps in half.
I blew out of my Halo 3s, I mean my Spartan 3s the other day. Morgan, yeah, I thought the same thing, man. Like Kai has been so down for the team and down for Chief.
Yeah,
they've been trying to get her to turn coat since the first season.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, it hasn't really been set up as to why. Like, what's the why? Is there doesn't seem to be any there, at least not yet. But maybe that's. I did say that this next episode, last week I said this episode was going to be like way down.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's going to not be anywhere near as good because they already took us all the way up. Yeah, now we got to come back down a little bit. So I was totally expecting this kind of an episode, but I just didn't like some of the decisions. But because like I felt like we should get more of Kai and all that stuff in this episode, as opposed to just seeing her at the very last 15 seconds of the episode.
Yeah, I agree. Like Kai was hands down my favorite character in the first season, and she like did a really great performance. Like because her discovering herself without the inhibitor chip, that's really her arc, which it feels like it should be Master Chief's arc, but it's her arc in the first season.
Yeah.
She performs it really well, and she gets a really badass moment that at the last episode where she gets to take down a whole, well, I'm not going to spoil anything for Jeff.
No, dude, it's fine.
Get there.
I don't care.
But
it's not a good. If it was a good season, I'd give a shit. But it's like whatever. I'm just watching it so I know the backstory.
Yeah, that's like you telling him you're not going to give him the spoiled milk and put it in the microwave. I mean,
right?
It's already
bad.
It's already bad, dog.
It's already in my cereal. I'm not enjoying it, man.
But yeah, it is disappointing what they've done with her this season. Because I'm all for like turning a character that you love and making them believably bad, but it seemed like her motivations were strictly surrounded around Master Chief's psyche and whether he was like going crazy and having concern for how much this past season has traumatized him. So the fact that she would join Ackerson's makes it seem like the only way that you would join Ackerson if he told her the truth about the Reach being glassed eventually, and there's nothing that they can do to stop it, which means that she would know that Master Chief was telling the truth and he's not crazy. So the motivations behind her leaving, it just seemed like bafflingly stupid. Morgan said in the chat, the why is she is the only one still on plan with bad dude. Chief was mental health problems. Anakin. Riz has mental health problems. There's not a ton of options with Vanek dead. And to your point, to your point, Morgan, it seems like her concern for her team's mental health problems was her motivator. But learning the truth about the Covenant would let you know that they're like, at least Master Chief isn't crazy.
Yes, she willingly went. Yeah, she willingly went and left her friends to die. That's the difference. It's not that she's just like, going against what Master Chief wants, or she feels like he's fucking up. She left her friends to die.
Yeah,
100%.
Do you believe it?
And they thought she was dead.
Well, she hopes they burn in hell.
What does she hope?
She hopes they burn in hell.
So you got it that time. But also, like last season, I mean, when she takes out her inhibitor chip and she just starts getting overwhelmed with everything, like she was the one who, it wasn't technically true mental health, but she doesn't understand the difference. And it's like, really? So like you go through a pretty big issue because you take it out and you got way too much going on upstairs.
Right.
And then you immediately turn on everyone else, especially the guy who was like, hey, you got too much going on. Take a fucking beat. Like he's been right every step of the fucking way. She's an idiot.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get some explanation on why she turned coded. But guys, let us know in the comments what you think.
Or did she turn coat? Did she maybe think that they were coming with her, or or maybe did she think that they died?
I'll bet Big Bad gave her candy.
Big Bad gave her candy. He said, "Look, well, no, I'm not gonna do that joke. I'm sorry."
Candy. No, I Ackerson is not above.
I didn't have to.
I don't think Ackerson is above. I was just naming one of my favorite comedy shows. But
that's one of my favorite R&B albums in the 80s.
But yeah, I do think that we needed a little bit more explanation what's going on with Kai. Ackerson is obviously not above lying to people to manipulate someone, but we'll see if it makes a little bit more sense.
I will say
the lost tapes of Prince. The lost Prince tapes of Strangers with Candy.
Prince, we can't publish
it's in the vault. I'll say this. I'll be super annoyed if it gets down to the last episode and it's like, oh, it's a plan she and Master Chief made the whole time. She was the inside person. Okay, cool. Like, no, fuck you. Don't go playing that fucking trope.
No, I feel like there's
more than that.
Well, shit. There's more episodes. There's only like 3 more episodes, right?
3 more, I think. Yeah. Or maybe 4. That was episode 5, right?
That was 5, yeah. So I think it's 3.
Well, last season was 9 episodes, so maybe 4 more.
Oh, maybe 4 more. Yeah, if it's 9 episodes, that'd be cool. Because I don't know how they're going to finish up a lot of these storylines, or we're not going to see Halsey's daughter. That's probably not going to happen, at least to like the last episode or something like that. And
nope, sorry, it says 8 episodes. You guys are right.
So yeah, that means that we got a lot of stuff to sew up. Yeah. But I will tell you, the best thing that they've done is not have what's her name, old Targaryen girl. She's not in this season that much. Use her sparingly and use her.
Yeah, she's very well used in this season.
Yeah, because it's terrible seeing her. Oh man, it's terrible. Making her do stuff is bad idea.
This is a big universe, so like they're obviously planning for more than just this season.
Am I harsh? Is that harsh?
No. We guys, check out our coverage of the last season if you want to know how we truly feel about her.
Like these people are people,
No, yeah.
And I hate talking bad about somebody doing their job because I don't want you coming talking to me about me doing my job bad. I mean, actually. Yeah, tell me. Leave it in the comments.
Well, it's funny. Acting is like not a hammer to a nail job, or art is not a hammer to a nail job. It's where you can just like do it good or you do it bad. There's opinions here. People are emotionally inspired by different things.
There's objectivity. Everybody knows that Madam Web sucked.
Okay, that's a whole different story. But yeah, let's talk about.
Sure did.
Let's talk about FX's Shogun. We got the season premiere, episodes 1 and 2. This is really we've been really excited about this pretty much all year because FX has always been.
It's only been 3 months.
Oh yeah, it's only been 3 months.
And actually, it came out last month. So,
but yeah, especially when that trailer dropped over the Super Bowl, a lot of hype has been garnering around this, and FX usually puts out pretty great shit. The premise is that the show is
best shit you ever ate.
Yeah. It's like a really good restaurant. It's like, they got a new menu, but it's still.
I was talking about like Morgan's dog eats her own shit. I was talking like that.
Oh, okay.
That's how you get worms.
I don't know what to do with that.
That's how you get worms. It is how you get worms.
The premise is the show is set in Japan in the year 1600. A Lord Yoshi Toranaga is fighting for his life as his enemies on the Council of Regents unite against him when a mysterious European ship is found marooned in a nearby fishing village.
Mysterious or stinky?
Yes.
Okay.
Por qué no dos?
I do I think that this concept is pretty interesting because much like other really great shows like Warrior or Game of Thrones or Sopranos, it kind of starts let me show you the connective tissue now. It starts out with
grafting skin from your ass to your head, sounds like. But go ahead.
Just get off this show depicts like these really deceitful and like violent and like treacherous environments, and there's this patriarchal character that is at the top of this like environment, and they die, and that leads this sort of vacuum. And as we like see in the second episode, like the patriarchal figure in this environment has died, and that's leaves it open for all kinds of violence and betrayal, and it's really intriguing. I'm curious.
That's just how mafia works.
Well, and the extra interesting part about it is he does leave a successor, but his successor is a child. So it's one of those things where in his place, the people who are supposed to, be guiding him are just, they're out for their own purposes. They're just trying to line their own damn pockets.
Well, I think
the really cool thing is this
is
based off of real life events.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say is like I feel like this little paragraph here at the beginning doesn't really get to the crux of the situation. Like Japan is extremely volatile at this point for like generations. Like when they talk about how people were fighting in a struggle for power, I mean, like it's not like it just started here, but like they only had like 10 years of no fighting under the previous Shogun.
Yeah.
So
also,
I just feel like
it's important
they didn't really get down to the nitty gritty of how brutal they've dealt with. Like the old lady said something at one point when what's his name?
As they do.
What's his name? What's his name?
Toranaga?
Yeah, Toranaga. Fucking Scorpion. Isn't it Scorpion?
Yeah, Scorpion.
Yeah, Scorpion. I just want to say Scorpion. Because I was about to say his name, but I kept wanting to say Scorpion.
Whoa. Real quick, before you do that. So Film Age wants to dip before the breakdowns, but he's got a quick question. Did we enjoy it? You guys want to go first?
Do we enjoy
Shogun?
Dune?
I think he means Shogun.
For Shogun? Yeah.
Oh. Yes.
Same.
Because he probably hadn't seen it yet. He's probably trying to
That's what I'm thinking.
for the no spoilers. Yeah, we enjoyed it. We loved it. It's the tits, it's the shit, and the poo poo is amazing.
I liked it. It's
the show I'm currently most excited about.
I liked it a lot. There are some things that annoyed me a little bit, but it was mostly like in the first episode. It was actually the white people, but we'll get to that, I guess.
It's not even really many of them in there.
Yeah, I know. It was like, which is why it didn't bother me too much. It was just like
I agree with Alex. There's too many of them.
That one dude who looks like Andrew Lincoln and Tom Hardy mixed together. That guy kind of annoyed me a little bit at the beginning in the first episode. But like, the British
main white
pirate
dude.
guy. Yeah,
I mean John Blackstone or whatever. Blackthorne.
Our guest tonight,
John Blackthorne. My name is John Blackthorne, and you.
Oh my God, he does look like Andrew Lincoln, just like at a.
I thought he was when he was
I've seen this exact shot.
Right, I was so excited. I was like, "Oh, Andrew Lincoln is in this show."
I had to immediately cool his jets. I was like, "No, that's
yeah." Well, this dude's
like 25 years young. 25 years younger than him.
Like the first time I
this
saw
looks
it.
like some Rick Grimes about
I
to
don't know when they
pull some
filmed
shit
it
off
now.
to get out of a hard situation.
How dare you compare me to such an
Right.
old
and
man.
the actor's name is Bananas, because I was like, that's
Wait
not
a
a real fucking
Nobody
name.
calls nobody
Bananas.
Okay, for a second, I thought
his
you were
name is
saying
not
his name was the
Bananas.
word
Wait,
bananas.
Like,
His name
what's
is-
the funny
you're not-
shit?
Hold on, you're not saying his name's Bananas, right?
His name is not actually
No.
Bananas.
Okay, because that's totally what you
Yes.
just said, and
Ah,
I
where's-
was
Just
I do
bananas.
have
His
it.
name-
I got
his name
pulled
is
up.
his name is Cosmo Jarvis.
100%.
I was like, what? That's
Cosmo Jarvis.
that's not a real name.
I will not stand for you to make fun of my name on YouTube.
But yeah, like sorry.
Oh,
Jack, what were we talking about before?
we were just saying that
get to
white
the
people stink in this movie.
We were getting
in this-
into the yep.
That's basically what
Yeah.
we're getting into.
We were talking about how white people ruin things.
I like how this show really does the Japanese culture some justice, like showing you how very serious and political everything is. It's like the old man comes over to try to translate for what's his name?
Yeah.
Blackstone.
Yeah.
And
Back on.
he's like, hey,
Oh, the
tell him
heretic.
to let my homies go. And he's like, hey, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And if you don't shut the fuck up, this nigga gonna cut my head off. How about in Japan? I don't know where you from, but in Japan, we shut the fuck up. So just stop fucking talking.
Because he killed my brother yesterday.
He stopped even trying to translate back to the dude. He was like, no, but you don't want me to tell him that. what you want to do is just stop talking. And
Yeah. The bitch slaps
be all
hit
right.
harder in Japan.
yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah, in this first episode,
Hold on. This is the scene right here. Because we're
Gets
not. I don't
This
care
is-
about your.
I wasn't even
I don't
saying
care
shit.
about
He
your-
was doing like
Shit you got.
I don't care about your Christianities. Get your Christianities out of here.
Don't give me that killer guy shit.
yeah,
Nah, I ain't never
in
doing
this,
I
that
will
shit
say-
ever.
That's a solid way to win an argument.
Yeah,
I guess. Yeah.
for sure.
No, I mean
That's an
you win-
escalation.
escalation. Who wants to win more?
Yeah, how bad do you want? How bad do you want? Yeah, in the first episode, Destinies converge in Japan after a barbarian ship washes ashore in a poor fishing village. Meanwhile, in Ahsoka, Lord Toranaga finds himself outplayed by his enemies.
Played out.
This was interesting, all the political warfare that's going on with Toranaga and the council. And how polite everybody has to do. Yeah,
That's what I was speaking to. Yeah, everything is extremely disciplined and you have to be polite, but at the same time, you got to talk shit because otherwise you look like a pussy and you're getting ran over. So everybody tries you, right?
yeah.
And so you have to look strong while also being extremely nice. It's just a sweet, sweet person. That's how you have to come off. Even though somebody just told you that they were gonna kill you.
Yeah,
and
they're literally
well, I'm so sorry
talking
you
about
feel
how
that
you're
way.
gonna die.
Right, exactly. We're gonna kill you in a couple weeks, maybe a month. But you know what? I'm not mad at you for that because you know what? Sometimes people be mad at me. So you know what? I'm sorry you feel that way about killing me, but
Yeah.
But you know what? I should do better.
I'll
try to do
Matter of
better.
fact, I'll just do it myself. I'll take all the busy work out of it.
Now, Tony, everyone else thinks you're kind of a dick. So, I'm really sorry. We are gonna have to kill you, but I mean, hey, buddy, what can we do to make you feel comfortable before we cut your head off, huh? We got you, pal.
Right.
Just don't boil me in water.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
What a
Nine, I didn't
tough
realize
scene.
that you've seen this. Nine, what are your
Yeah,
thoughts?
I've seen this. I've seen this one. This was great. This is great. I think that just kind of speaks with FX. FX is kind of like the main cable channel that is still like I still trust, like cable network. They still put out the jams every now and again.
They've got you covered.
But and they're ready to actually like go there with some crazy shit. But yeah, I've been asking for this like ever since we saw Blue Eyed Samurai. I was like, yeah, we need more. We need more in this like this time frame, and exploring this type of culture because it's just so badass.
You know what is so interesting to me about this culture, and I know I want to get into more of this story, before I waste any more fucking time. But it's crazy to me how people be tens of thousands of miles away from each other, allegedly have contact with each other, right? But still have the same caste systems. Cultures be different, but same caste system, same way that they treat women the same way.
Yeah.
They have lords and ladies, kings and queens, emperors. It's all the same shit all over the fucking planet. So I just wanted to speak to that, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got to get that the more you know thing going.
Yeah, it's interesting, Andrew, how all these cultures are have these differences, but
everyone is terrible.
The one through line is that everybody hates women. Speaking of which, what did you guys think of the performances?
Joke, but it's okay.
Well, no, I thought you were about to be like, speaking of which, I love this show.
I'm curious what you guys thought of the performances in this show, because specifically
best bit on this show, I swear to God.
Specifically Anna Sawai, because she was in A Legacy of Monsters.
Go check out that on our other podcast.
Show that we covered on this podcast.
Do it.
Her dad's in
this is better.
Yeah, this is way better. We know her dad.
Oh, she's the Nepo baby?
Her dad. No. Her dad from Monarch, her shitty dad, is the main guy trying to kill Toranaga.
Oh, he is.
I just kept being like, I fucking know this guy. And I looked it up. I was like, no fucking way. He's so much better.
I'm going to just tell you something. You're going to see a lot of that in this. I'm going to tell you why. It ain't but so many Japanese actors in America. So you're going to see a lot of that, probably like where you seen this dude and this lady from X and X. But it's kind of like Wakanda, like Black Panther. You know what I'm saying? Like every black person in Hollywood is in this motherfucking movie. Like we need some really famous black actors just to be extras. We just
and I feel like there's even like I talk about, and this is just English speaking actors, but using an accent outside of your own voice. When we talk about these British actors who, when they try to do American accents, it doesn't quite hit the same. Like their performances aren't quite as good as when they're speaking in British accents because it's taking away a little bit. And I feel like having all these Japanese actors be able to speak Japanese, it helps them like really tap into their performances and their characters.
You don't like the television show from the 70s or 80s?
Which
the show Shogun.
There was another. Oh,
I actually never saw the Shogun 80s.
Yeah,
there's also a Shogun book.
Yeah, I don't think you would like that because guess what? It's a bunch of white dudes being Japanese people.
So, you don't say that. Does not sound like the 70s at all.
I very specifically chose one of the only white names in this show.
Well, at least you chose the one that's not Portuguese.
I would love it if you. I would have loved if your name was Andrew Lincoln next week.
I would love it if it was. What's his name? Occidental Jones or what the fuck this nigga's name is? Osmosis.
Oh yeah.
Cosmo Jarvis.
Cosmo
Jarvis does sound like an Osmosis Jones character.
Cosmo Jarvis is a
Osmosis Jones. Movie.
Osmosis Jones 2. The villain is Cosmo Jarvis.
Cosmo Jarvis. Oh
and he's COVID.
Very topical sequel.
Yeah, they did Anthrax in that one. Like that's why that movie didn't.
That's right.
Oh gosh. Man, yeah, we got to find a reason.
They made the movie before the Anthrax stare.
Yeah, it was a thing, but it wasn't like a thing.
No, it wasn't a thing at all. Like it was like it was like how nobody it was like nobody knew about fentanyl till Prince died. You know what I mean? Like
right.
It's just so it was one of those things. And then
oh no.
When that whole anthrax scare started, you know who else was getting a lot of hate? The band Anthrax that hadn't put out an album in like 5 years. How could you put out an album called Spread the Disease? And they're like, that was like 7 years ago. What the fuck are you talking
about? Oh man, everybody needs a devil.
Sorry, I'm gonna stop doing tangents. I'm gonna stop dropping it off to the other shit.
It's your birthday. We'll let you pass.
Yeah. It's your birthday.
Hey, not yet.
Oh right, that's true. That's true.
Where is it not? Not yet.
No, not
no, you got
on the East Coast. On the East Coasters, it's been your birthday for.
Shout out to all my cousins who live on the East Coast who haven't called me.
You fucking think for yourselfers. Let's talk like quickly about episode 2. Blackthorn's arrival in Osaka stirs up a hornet's nest of rivalries. Mariko is trapped between her cause and her faith when she must translate for the barbarian in Lord Toranaga's custody. What did you think of just like this whole reveal of, I guess Toranaga realizing what's been going on outside of Japan and the grand scope of just the horrible atrocities that the Portuguese and Spain have been doing? Nine, what did you think of all
that? I mean, I thought it was like very interesting, just like the fact of the matter is that the isolation that this period of Japan holds is so amazing to me. The fact that they basically just could not concern themselves at all with whatever not even hear about England is crazy.
Yeah.
As fuck to me. So I am wondering, like, well, we know that it's like brutal times. So I'm wondering if it's just like, oh, this is just regular for everybody involved. Right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's what I was speaking to.
Yeah, it basically is. But like, what exactly did they do? I may have like missed the part where they explained like what atrocities were like committed.
Well, yeah, they basically the way that
the way that
Abraham Lincoln breaks
so the way that our main character John Blackstone gets to the Japanese, as he calls it, is he is what they call a pilot, which he is the guy who's navigator, and all the people that he was with, they went through Magellan's Pass, which Magellan is Portuguese.
Super
nice guy. Very good at the raping and the pillaging. Not the best, but they weren't bringing us their best. So they.
I mean, kind of true. Yeah, Blackthorn is kind of a piece of shit in himself.
So they come through after them and sack all of their cities that they've conquered. So Rodriguez speaks to like their little manifest that they find, and they talk about how they've gone through and messed, and fucked up a bunch of sacked a bunch of Spanish and Portuguese settlements. But how did the Portuguese get there? Right? Like but in Japan, they have run into like, this ain't the Philippines, dog. No offense to the Filipino people out there, but y'all wasn't out here with chopping niggas' heads off and shit like that. Y'all wasn't out here making dense ass light swords. You know what I mean? Y'all just wasn't out here doing that. That just wasn't what it was going on. So and like we've talked about on the Bantha Bunch show on Tuesdays. Actually, we're moving it to Thursdays. Shout out to everybody who watched Bantha Bunch. We're moving to Thursdays.
Oh shit.
We talked about it like there's isolated islands all over the world where they, it's too dangerous to approach because these people don't want you to approach. And that's what Japan was, except they got better craftsmanship. So they came there and, you know, tried. They're still integrating.
Mm-hmm.
They're still taking over, but they taking over it in little increments. Yeah. So,
and shout outs to Rodriguez in the show. He was the mayor in The Dark Knight. If you guys don't remember,
sure was.
I was like, oh really? Shit, that's him. I remember those eyes anywhere because he looks like he has eyeshadow, but his eyes are just naturally that dark around his eyes. He actually got a lot of shit for like his entire life. It's like, oh, you look like you got mascara on you fucking.
He's like, I'm gonna lean into this shit.
Great actor.
So to answer your question,
he was almost one of my favorite characters, though. He was almost
man. Speaking of other great names, huh? Nestor Carbonell.
Nestor Carbonell.
That
sounds like a candy that I ate when I was a kid.
That sounds like something you're supposed to add to your peach cobbler before you put it in the
oven. But so Nine, to answer your question, one of the other issues is that the Portuguese that like they're calling the Christians or the Catholics, I think it is. They're supplying a lot of people with like guns and shit. And the people they're supplying with the guns are the people the Japanese don't like. Like in Manila, they're setting up fortresses around there. And that's the other thing is all around so that Japan, was they're setting up forts.
Macau.
That's what it was. Macau. Thank you.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. The Macau reference. But yeah, but the English have gone through and sacked all those towns or a lot of them. So,
which they're trying to be like, oh, that means they're bad. But it's like, we're doing the exact same thing you're fucking doing. We're just doing it to you.
Nine, did you see the second episode?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, yeah. So that's what they were talking about in the second episode. Just kind of, I know we're jumping back and forth, but that's what they were talking about in the second episode. That's the big reveal is that they got armies, and that leads. I'm going to go back to the first episode because there's a huge Christian faction that is built throughout the warlords, I guess is what they are. So and so most of them have gotten Christianized,
right?
You know, and if we know anything about Christianity, 3 of the 5. So if we know anything about Christianity, when it takes over, it's always 3. No, when Christianity takes over, greed takes over. Yay! And you're always in it for the money. Motherfuckers don't believe in nothing. When you come up with all that money, what you want me to believe in? What you talking about? Yes.
And I thought it was very interesting when like the dude this guy right here.
Yes.
Not this guy.
Yeah, the priest.
This guy right here. When
Toranaga's brother.
Yeah, and then when John took the cross and just started stomping on it, he was just like, fuck yeah, dude. Actually,
you know what?
He's like, that's punk rock as fuck. Cool. Yeah.
I like that
guy. Yeah, like he was just like, okay, yeah.
Which it also
shows like, why should he must die?
It also shows you that this guy
it's an insult to the cross.
He's not only not down. He's not only not down with it though, but it shows you he has no control over whether or not someone's going to be a Christian. Like someone higher up than he has decided that people are going to be able to do this, because that's what I meant by like them not going into a deep enough, at least not yet, about the past before this. Like nobody would have been able to just pull up on here and preach their Christian message before this.
I would be interested to see if
hopefully they'll go back and show a little bit of that.
It'd be cool if they have
episode
like a
5. We get in the flashback
when they show like the Dutch merchants showing up and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And because everybody just knows Japanese and Portuguese. It takes a long time to learn those types of things.
I mean, but look at the video that we just had up. That one guy who was like the translator, dude was like, he was talking the way like you get a gorilla to sign. Like he was barely getting it across.
He did not.
Yes, but he also looked like he also looked like he had a little too much rice wine.
Yeah, right. He looked Yeah,
he looked like Friar.
He looked
Tuck.
like a hobo. Yeah,
He looked like Friar Tuck in this bitch.
That's especially great because I chose Signing Gorilla. The other one I was going to go with was Drunken 3-year-old trying to talk.
Yes. He was clearly inebriated before he got to work that day. He's like, it's raining. I didn't know I was gonna be working. It's raining.
Do you know the thing that I liked the most about that though was, all right, the priest who's supposed to be like I'm the guy to go to for all this shit. He understands the language and clearly the culture less than Rodriguez, whatever his name is,
right?
Who's clearly a shady as fuck character. But that's the point. Is like, yeah. It's not the holy men that are really ingratiating with the culture. It's these guys that are out there like just
actually working.
I'm a pirate. I'm a merchant. I'm just trying to fucking get by.
Also, I liked about Rodriguez. Rodriguez.
Yeah, I think it was Rodriguez.
What I liked
the
about
Spaniard,
the mayor of Gotham.
What I liked about him was he was speaking broken Japanese as well, but he respects their culture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he's bullshitting. He's like, yeah. Bow, bow, bow. Ni-ha, whatever. Like, he's like, hi. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's almost like nonchalant, disrespectful in a way, but they know he knows that he knows they respect. Like, he knows their culture. He knows their tradition. So I felt like that was a good little tidbit. Like, there is a nature of, hey, we have to be reserved and we have to be polite, but clearly there's also a nature of certain people who do like to joke off and joke off all over. Let us know if you joke off at home. Put it in the comments. Do you joke off at home? There should be a poll. We should do a poll. Do you joke off? Yes or no? But yeah, it shows that everything's not so reserved and
no, for sure. Yeah, like that's one of the things I like so much about his character. He's very smart. He's obviously adaptable to this strange world, at least strange for him because he did not grow up here.
What do you think about John Coltrane's experience with
what
John Black? So when he Cosmo Baldwin, look, Cosmic Bowl. How did you feel about that scene where they decide that he's gonna live, gonna give him a bath, and this also decides they're gonna throw one of his homies in a boiling vat of water.
Yeah, that was really, really brittle. That was really tough to watch. One thing that I wish that they did,
man, that little kid was like this.
I feel like that character, what's his name, Toranaga's brother. He's just like listening to because he was obsessed with the moment right before death.
Because he's a psychopath.
Yeah, he's a psychopath. Yeah. But also, I kind of related to him.
I think you mispronounced the word poet.
You're right.
I related to him in this moment because hear me out. Because I can't even remember what movie I saw it in where you hear someone screaming to death off screen. I think they're burning to death, and you hear them scream, and then their scream just gets immediately cut off in mid and it's just so awful and just heartbreaking. And I was listening for that to happen, and it just kind of stops. It doesn't have the same abrupt. Oh, now you know when he's
No, he smashed his head on a fucking. No, what are you talking about? He smashed his head to death and then he died. It didn't just stop. He smashed his head until he was unconscious and died.
Right. Yeah. It's not.
That's different than it just stopped.
But it doesn't show that though.
Yeah, it does. It does. It shows that. It does. I watched it 3 times.
Because he's screaming all night.
No, but at the very end, where it shows him smash his head into the wall.
So
into the wall of the
edge of the pot.
Cauldron. Yeah, whatever.
The thing is, they're very clever with the violence and the gore in this. Look at the other guy when John's in the prison and the guy's out there getting executed. They have the camera panning over, when the head's cut off, it's behind the pole. But then when they go this way, you see the head roll out,
flop off.
They're really smart to make it still fucking brutal, but it's not like just gore focused. So I think that's why you don't necessarily notice him like smashing his fucking head against the side.
Which is basically the culture. Mm-hmm. I mean, you see it. He smashes his head against the cast iron cauldron that he's in. But I think that
you know what they say: you want to make a soup, you got to break a few white people.
he broke his own. He broke himself. But yeah, that was crazy. His face was all melted. He looked like something out of some video game.
Yeah, he looked tasty.
So like Resident Evil. That's what he looked like. One of the Resident Evil.
He looked like Freddy Krueger, man.
What did you just to wrap that?
I'm gonna get you, bitch.
Just to wrap up the discussion here, before we talk about the main event tonight. But what did you guys think of the ending of episode 2, where we get the assassination attempt, where it looks like they're trying to assassinate Toranaga, but it turns out they are trying to kill John, black white boy. Nine, what did you think of this last scene?
With this was like excellently shot. I was just like, damn, does everybody in Japan, just like everybody on premises, just know how to wield a blade and just like sneakily go through? Because
yes,
it feels like you would just have to train your whole goddamn life to pull this off.
Right? She was like the blue-eyed samurai walking through here. Just
if you look at it, no, it's not everybody, because she went in there and killed about 14 people and nobody was able to do nothing about it. So technically,
especially these motherfuckers.
Yeah, the guys who went in and
like,
actually,
you're a warrior.
And then this is all like
there's light
one
right there.
shot.
Clearly, there's a silhouette.
Yes,
this is all one shot going. I love this.
Crazy.
Agreed.
You didn't have to kill them.
No, actually, you know why I love it?
Disagree.
It's because if you go back a little bit, like this is how for all you future filmmakers and directors out there, this is how you say
for all you future murderers.
Oh no. This is how you direct the scene, though. Like, if you don't have to show too much, like the dark shadows of it all. Like, we don't have to see a lot of these contact. I mean, just far as the action, the what do you call it? The fight choreography.
The choreography
straight into the night,
right, exactly. The less you see, the better. You know what I mean? Because to Jeff's point earlier, where they pan over and then the head plops off after you pass by the little bars on the little jail dungeon thing that they're in. I think I'd like Japanese dungeons better than English dungeons.
Yeah. So. Guys, put in the comments what are better, English dungeons or Japanese dungeons? Specifically from this time period,
or Game of Thrones dungeons, or
right, Game of Thrones dungeons or Shogun dungeons.
Which one do you like?
So first off, one thing that I really liked is that they like that scene where like they are showing the blood. I'm so sick and tired of things on TV where it's like, oh man, this person just got shot, no blood. They just got stabbed. Nothing. It's like you don't need to make it like gruesome and like all encompassing, but there should be at least their clothes should be tinted red at least. They're like, no. She cut that bitch's throat. There's blood spray. I also like
goes there.
Oh, they do. I also liked that they had the woman going in and doing it. I just thought it was like a good way of it's like, this is how it would go. This is how you would send an assassin properly. But the biggest thing I liked about this is actually, so I, like a lot of people, was always like, oh, the samurai, they're like, the crazy holier than thou. They always have honor above everything else and all that jazz. But when I was, God, I'm going to sound so fucking white. One of my favorite movies is The Last Samurai. So
I like that movie too.
Thank you. You're so fucking white. So
I I will not do my Japanese impersonation right now.
Sake.
No,
that's my Tom Cruise impression.
I mean, it was a pretty good one. So one of the things I do like when I really love a movie like that is I'll go in and I'll read the IMDb trivia. Well, one of so Last Samurai got a really good reception in Japan, but one of the things that some people did not like was, hey, the samurai are just the most honorable, nothing, blah blah. But that's not what the samurai were like. The samurai were actually very corrupt, and that's what I'm loving about this show.
Yes,
it is absolutely showing us that. And that scene we get with Toranaga's brother getting those bandits to just take all those fuckers out and then just killing the bandits. That's also something that, like, yeah, you know what? That's not honorable at all. But it gets the job done, and they're gonna get the fucking job done. I'm very happy with that.
Just real quick, I want to just say, I just gotta say this. Morgan said, I'm a master joker. So he be joking off at the house all the time.
Yeah, he's a joke off. He's joking off right now.
I really much so hope. I hope he put this on mute at least while, because I don't want him listening to my voice while he's joking off. That's just not what I want. That's not what I want in life. But also,
that's what the Spotify station's for.
Yes, go listen to
audio only.
Go listen to iTunes or iPod. And what is it? iPods? Is iPodcast?
I have no idea.
Apple Podcast.
Apple Podcast, yeah, whatever.
Aren't podcasts called podcasts because of iPods?
Yes.
No.
You just that brain, man.
No, that's not true, because Bill Simmons was doing podcasts before the iPod even existed, before the iPhone existed.
Well, I feel like we're gonna talk. We need to have a podcast. Morgan said in the comments, Shogun dungeons. That's what he prefers over Game of Thrones dungeons. But guys, let us know in the comments what you guys think of the premiere of Shogun. Are you excited about what the season will?
And also, we will talk more about this next week.
Oh yeah. We got a lot to talk about.
We have a lot to talk about this episode of the Drunk Banthas podcast, so we have to cut it short. We're not racist. We just have to cut it short.
And we got 10 episodes of Shogun this season, so very excited to go through all of that. But tonight,
and almost certainly more seasons.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like if you look at the book, there's 2 books and both are like this fucking thick.
Let me tell you something. I think the TV show got I think the TV show got 3 seasons. So if this don't get goddamn at least 3 seasons, we're gonna have to have a fight.
You know, it reminds me of a really thick book adaptation.
That sounded sexual.
I like my books like I like my women.
Thick and long.
With 2 parts. I don't know what that means.
No, it's more than 2 parts.
We're talking.
What is this? A cow? What are we talking about?
But we're talking about Dune Part 2. That's what we're talking about.
Don't you have it? Don't we have it? Yeah, here it is.
That is what
there it is. Yes. I thought you put in there.
Ladies
I
and
thought you put in there.
Ladies and gentlemen,
ladies
and gentlemen, that is what we call a landmine.
Oh my
Granada!
That's the happiest I've been in weeks.
Oh my God.
Booby trap, baby, booby trap.
Yes, and you guys just heard the very famous Hans Zimmer Dune score.
Let's do that again. Okay.
Great show.
All right. There it is.
I like the other version better.
I mean, guys, put in the comments which is your favorite Dune song of the 2. But this is like as you guys have you.
I might do that again. I might do that shit again. That song do get you hyped.
Yeah. Oh man,
my voice I'm losing my voice because I'm definitely going out after.
It's like going on my workout playlist, man. I'm just fucking. I'm getting it in on that song. But
I'm gonna go. Never mind.
But
he's gonna go master joke.
Yeah,
we're talking about Dune Part 2, the highly anticipated sequel to the 2021 sci-fi epic, and it has finally arrived and is making sand waves all over the globe.
That's right.
Let's talk about the reception really quickly because this is far and away the most commercially successful Denis Villeneuve movie. He's made a lot of great movies.
Finally got him one.
No money at the box office.
Seriously.
I would also like to tell everybody to please hydrate out there.
Oh yeah,
please hydrate,
guys. Please hydrate. Get your still suits on.
Don't waste that water.
Don't waste that water. Don't waste that water, girl.
Deadline reported that Dune Part 2 is raked in $182.5 million its opening weekend. That is
small.
A lot of
love
fucking
me
money.
Sexy. Yeah. That's a love me sexy.
I am wondering what that's compared to with the first one. Part 1.
Oh, it's blowing it out.
We know it's in a really weird space where it was releasing during a lot of the lockdowns.
41 million.
41 million. Okay. And because it released in theaters, but also simultaneously on HBO Max as well.
I also think it was one of the first theater movies that did that.
It was,
at least it was the first I remembered. Yeah,
it was one of the first for sure.
I think Tenet was a couple months before that, right?
Tenet might have been just
those were like the two big movies that everybody wanted to see in theaters.
Tenet was actually
Tenet actually 2020.
Yeah, Tenet was
come out in 2020,
2021.
Yes. Yeah, Tenet was supposed to bring back cinema.
Yeah, Tenet came out in 2020.
It was supposed. No, it was supposed to because people were supposed to be going to the movies, but nobody could predict that there was. And also, something in contract wouldn't allow them to pull it off because Christopher Nolan wanted to take that shit down and reschedule for the next year or something.
Yeah.
But so, like, even a full year after Tenet, Dune comes out and it's still not. You're still not able to really. They don't have confidence people going to the theaters.
Yeah, because we in Los Angeles and people in New York couldn't go see it because they didn't have theaters open. So the two biggest markets for movies and the two places where people make the most movies, they don't have the ability to go see it.
And I was very afraid that this movie wouldn't get a part 2 because it was not guaranteed. The movie ended up making $400 million worldwide at the end, but it was not like
it's probably just breaking even.
Yeah, that's like just breaking even pretty much because
it wasn't
probably like $180 million movie. But the miracles do happen. Denis Villeneuve was able to make his part 2. And guys, what were your initial? Anything is possible.
Also, think that there was a lot of. I mean, it happened because they took those circumstances into account. Like
you would think normal people would, but we are talking about WB where they just.
I didn't say that they did. Well, they only do that with DC movies. But what I was saying is, they only do that with comic book movies. They don't do that with any other movie. What I'm saying is, they took that into account and said, hey, we're going to give you another one. That we know that this did good. And we don't know, we personally don't know what the other movies look like next to it. Like, what did Dune do in comparison to other movies that came out?
Yeah. And it definitely, I'm sure if you compare it to other movies that had the dual release, it did way better. Yeah.
So Dune's initial box office or final box office for part 1 was 430 million, like maybe 437 or something. I don't remember the final number. But I mean, like Tenet, like we were just talking about, that one only hit like 380 or something. Hit 300 million. But I'm saying, I mean, that was another one is around the same time with the same circumstances, and it didn't make as much as the first Dune did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like COVID kind of really like skewed the numbers when you're talking about like box office and like the actual reception from people, because people seem to really dig the first movie. Despite the fact that it kind of has these what you would assume is are handicaps on paper. It's half of a book. It's people
that nobody really has read.
Right. It's not like the Harry Potter.
It's not like
it's not
Game
Star Wars.
Or
And it's people have been saying for years that it's unadaptable. It's just you're unable to adapt it to film. But all that being said,
because you're stupid.
But I mean, did the original adaptation go well? Did it?
No, it didn't go well because like I can't remember what my decision was. I don't think I said yes, but I think that like a lot of you guys were like swaying me for Dune 1984, David Lynch's Sting's Dune. But I
didn't even know there was a 2001.
Yeah, like the TV series,
Children of Dune,
but you know what I would say is that 1984 is a little bit more like it's actually like more accurate to the book than.
Oh, really?
And I'm excited. I'm excited to talk about the comparisons between.
They also missed a lot of things in the book too, because they just tried to squeeze the whole book or the whole two books into one.
I'm looking forward
for the
Film Age says hell yeah, Dune 84 holds.
Let me tell you something, Film Age. If you feel that way, go watch our episode. Please check out our.
If you haven't already, check that out.
But I'm excited to talk about the differences between the book and the 84 movie and the ending specifically of this movie later on. But let's talk about initial thoughts for this movie and our thoughts about Dune Part 1, because it's kind of hard to separate them because they're like
I took your thoughts ain't my thoughts off.
Oh, did you?
I just have the cut material.
Congratulations. Check out
the material. It's dense fucking material.
Oh, you got all of them?
Yeah,
I haven't read a single one. My dad really is pushing.
What did your dad write the new books? Like, goddamn,
that is Harvey Dent's. So
sorry if you're watching this, Dad.
Hold on,
I finally read The Hobbit.
Damn, did you say that's Harvey Dent's?
Dent's, yes.
I was gonna get smooth fast, and so
nobody
acknowledged how dorky it was.
Is it because of
you were gonna try and run past that? We
was
were.
It because of Dog from Shogun? Yeah, got you on the Dark Knight.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. Harvey Dent's is goddamn deplorable.
Hey, you know what? I believe in Harvey Dent.
Thank you, Jeff. But yeah, since you have the material, I'll let you go first with the initial thoughts. What did you think of this movie, and do you feel like it was better than Part 1?
I did not want to see this movie. I didn't want to see it.
You didn't want to see it? Why did you not?
Why would you not want to see this movie?
I think I know why, but let me.
I don't know what it is, but for some reason the story just never engaged me. It felt very. Part 1 was, and I know it was a setup to set up Part 2, but it was just. Even the action parts were kind of slow. And also, like, for me, a part of it was just like, I feel like I've heard this story before. It felt part Robin Hood. It felt like, it's like, all right, it's Robin Space Hood? Hamlet. Yeah, the guy, the rich character comes back and everything's gone. And now he's got to fight the people who took it. Or it felt like Space Hamlet, which it was even better, Space Lion King. And I was like, it just kind of feels like I've seen this stuff before. But I knew we were going to talk about it tonight, so I went out and I saw Dune Part 2 yesterday, and I was wrong. This movie was fucking amazing.
That's right, and that's why we played the game.
When's the last time you watched Dune Part 1?
When it came out.
Okay, so you haven't. Okay, all right.
I was
still fucking with it,
checking out Dune Part 1.
Yeah, I know. I got you.
I will say real quick, because I did do a review of Dune Part 1.
Too slow, Alex.
Guys, go check
Speed
out.
up. No, I'm joking.
I'll say, yeah, like I did do a review of Dune Part 1. You guys can check it out on the channel. And I had
Drunk Banthas channel.
Sort of lukewarm vibes about it. And I've seen it probably like 5 times since then. Especially like, and I saw it in IMAX a few weeks ago before like it lead up to this movie. And yeah, I have similar thoughts. Like I feel like it's incredible, and I feel like this movie just well informs the last movie in a really great way. Like it just makes the first part even better. But Bill, what do you think?
I told you. Everybody who's day ones, y'all know what I'm talking about. I fucking told you. Dune 1 was a motherfucking masterpiece. It's like watching a painter paint his best piece and then moving over to the other wall and finishing it off. You know what I'm saying? And I told y'all, oh, I don't know, one was cool, but I just felt like it was missing these elements and it was doing this and it was shut up. Shut the fuck up. Where's the goddamn drop at?
Bill, to borrow your metaphor. Ooh.
Get out. Go. I ain't got time to be distracted by your worthless chime-ins. Go on.
You know what I'm saying?
Bill, to borrow your metaphor, Michelangelo painted a really cool painting, and then he was like, motherfucker, I'm painting the entire goddamn ceiling.
Exactly. And so people may have thought it was boring. You know what I'm saying? I always tell people, no, it's not boring. You just don't understand what's going to happen in the next movie. And I'm not saying that if you read the books, that you don't have a right to feel like it wasn't going your way, but you just impatient ass motherfucker. Quit. I would say to you, sir, stop watching Reddits. Stop looking at Reddits. Stop fucking going on YouTube.
That's very interesting because like I did notice like a lot of like Dune purists that have like read the books. Like I love the books or whatever, but a lot of Dune purists are not liking the movie for some reason, and that is so interesting to me.
Yeah, like what were your initial thoughts on this? Because you're the you actually
nigga. Do you see what I'm wearing right now? Did I like the movie?
This nigga ain't at the dentist, Alex. This motherfucker.
I loved it, bro. I watched it yesterday. And I was literally about to buy another ticket to watch it earlier today, but I was like, man, I really don't have another 3 hours.
I do not have time to watch this movie.
Yeah. But it was amazing. It was actually a cinematic masterpiece. Like, just look at this shot right here of the trailer. It is like when all this was happening, I mean, we can go through it. We can go through.
You know what? Actually,
initial thoughts.
Before I'm glad that you brought that up because before we talk about the minutia of the very dense plot, I do want to talk about the look because it does look pretty spectacular. Greg Fraser is back in the DP chair. Obviously famous for
scrambled eggs, right?
What?
It says Fraser.
Oh yeah. So Kelsey Grammer is back.
Welcome back,
Greg Kelsey Fraser. He's famous for he was the DP for the Batman, and he's also very famous for developing the volume technology that has become very, very popular. Kind of
like the whole green screen thing, or not even green screen, like the LED.
Yeah, like the
the big ass TV room. It's a TV room.
He's that guy, so he obviously knows how to point camera.
Didn't that start really in Watchmen on the TV show? Remember the Mirror Man had the room where he had the entire room of LED.
You know what? I should read the article that talks about it. not.
Well,
I'm just like,
so-
but yeah, like,
Sorry.
because I doubt that The Mandalorian was the first time that they've utilized it at all.
Or even
But
thought
I'm,
about it,
I'm
or whatever.
but
conceptualized.
So
Yes.
Alex, something really interesting is Nine, when you pulled up that last picture of Chalamet, that awesome shot, I was gonna say, like, it's so cool and it's such a great shot, and it's like, I love it. It's so good. It's like it's out of a comic book. And my example was going to be this cover of a Batman comic,
shit.
where it's just that shadow and you see it just flowing, the cape flowing in the background
Yes.
while he's literally walking through a fucking desert. And so, of course, then the sound guy did the Batman.
It just reminded me of a Jedi
real quick here,
Jedi moment.
because people have been wondering.
But where is KirstYn?
She's dead.
Holy shit!
Rest in peace, KirstYn. No, I don't think she saw the movie yet.
Get the Catholics from Shogun. We need to pray.
But yeah, she couldn't make it here.
Yeah, hopefully you know that she's not actually dead from my laughing.
No, she's very alive. We love her. She's good.
And asked for, and she's loved.
Yeah. One quick thing I'll say, Haley. KirstYn, not Kristen.
Yeah, not KirstYn.
And I'm just saying that because I think there was like 3 podcasts I did with her before I finally just read what she wrote for her name.
Why does Haley spell her name like that? That's so weird.
What you mean? That's how Haley is spelled.
You mean with an H?
Haley. Yeah.
I've seen
Are you thinking it should be AI?
Yeah.
You usually see the first names with AI and last names with ALE.
If you got AI, then you're a stripper.
So hey, before go down to the courthouse and get your name changed.
You don't know what she do.
But yeah, like so
you were talking about the sound before I interrupted with comic books.
Yeah, we're talking about sights and sounds. What did you guys think of like the sound design and the music for this movie?
Jeff,
I'll let
you are going to if you're going to watch this, watch it in theaters.
You have
go
to.
And give like the sound design in this movie, even just like the thumpers.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Like that shit was just like getting me hype, and it's just like that rhythmic heartbeat sound where it's just building that tension, and then the sound of the sand just it's amazing. It's an amazing theater experience. Check it out.
Yeah, like sorry, go ahead. Go ahead,
okay, no, so I was gonna say, yeah, I had to change it. So
changing people's lives out here, people.
Right? So, like I said, I mean, I've tried to read this book 4 or 5 times and just given up. Like I said, I only saw the first movie once because I was just kind of meh about it.
Mm-hmm.
This movie, Dune Part 2, was perfect. And when I say that, I mean every single fucking part of this movie was perfect.
Ooh.
The sound, there were moments where I was just blown away by how, like Nine said, it perfectly hit the specific sounds that we had. Even just the sound of the sand blowing across the desert. It was amazing. Then the sights that we were saying. Deserts can be strangely beautiful at times, and I think they caught that in this. I think that even just look at little shots like this. So if you see it right before this part, it's literally just that one guy, and it looks like it's just him at the top of the dune.
And
it just hands.
But he's like also just like holding the sand in his hands, and he's just like letting it sift through his fingers, and you just hear like this little.
Yeah,
it's just like as the camera is rising to this fucking whole battalion that he's commanding, and
exactly,
it's like it gets me so hyped. It's amazing. I love it.
The scene when they're in the temples, where they're putting all the water and everything was amazing. Thank you. And then, but I think the biggest, most important part. Now, can you pull that picture you just had back up?
With
Skogar with all the people behind him.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is one of the most important parts of the movie to me. and it goes in with the sights, and it's the effects, and it's because look at that, all those people look real. I mean, back behind that flag, that just looks like more and more people. It was done so well. The scene where Paul, calls them all to fight, and it's just, and you hear that roar of people screaming. None of them look CGI, and I guarantee they didn't have that many fucking people on set that day.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of like big crowd tricks, and like again, this is the volume guy, so he knows how to make those big scopes look real. Let's talk to our resident. Let's talk to our resident sound engineer about the sound on this movie. Bill, what did you think of like the music and the sound design in this one?
It was good.
Moving on.
No. First of all, we saw it in 40x.
Yeah, 40x.
And let me just say, did you see it in IMAX or you saw the first time?
First time I saw it in IMAX. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, actually, I saw it in Limax, which is where it's not really IMAX.
The price is max.
It's a slightly bigger screen.
No. Which one do you first? Before I answer, which one do you feel was better? I'm interested.
I prefer the non-interactive stuff because I'm just too tense. There was like bullets whizzing. This bullets literally whizzing by my head, and I was too stressed. Like in the 40x, like I was like, "Oh fuck!" Like,
I'm just curious about the sound. So the sound was better in the 40x because you felt like
it was so good it gave him a fucking heart attack.
No, like the sound was like was better in the 40x because again I did watch it in IMAX. I'm excited to see it in a real IMAX.
Well, no,
yeah,
I'm just curious.
Really
I'm just curious because I haven't seen it anything but 40x, and it was baller in 40x. Now the movie kind of started where it sounded like it was going to be shitty sound, but
are you talking about the
opening hour?
It was just the opening, like when they're in the sand and they, they wake up he wakes up on the sand. It sounded like it was going to be kind of shitty, but you got what they were trying to convey is that there's very little sound being made, even though they're walking on the sand, even though they're doing stuff, and also the soldiers chasing them or hunting them, their feet don't make no noise. Like that was a very interesting choice that they did in the first one, but they also did in this one. And
I feel like it's because they're equipped with the it's not a car levitation.
Yeah.
Well, they cut that off and they still don't make any sound. I think it's just to speak to their elite nature of how
like their training.
Training. Like I think it's just like, hey, even on sand, y'all can't hear us. And that's also what they practiced back on was Atreides. They practiced that not Duncan, but Paul and his
Gurney. I can hear your footsteps, old man.
Exactly. So they practice those types of things.
Thanos.
Yeah, Thanos. I can hear your footsteps.
Exactly. Friend of the show. But I felt like his music, I felt like those types of things change how you're viewing the scene and add attention that you wouldn't otherwise probably think, like taking away sound, adding tension to a moment in a movie. How does that happen? How does that work?
Yeah.
Also, their needle drops at this point.
We don't even need it. Like you've been, you kill it. Let me get one more so I can salute that.
Well,
no good night.
But Bill, to your point, and I know it's crazy jumping ahead, but that final fight scene with Paul, the fact that they chose to do it with absolutely no music, perfect. You had to. If they had put music in there, it would have ruined the fucking scene.
Well, yeah, because I think you could get away with doing the drum impact sound. Like we could have gotten some. Hey, look at that.
Hey, happy birthday, bro.
It's 12. Happy birthday.
Happy anniversary of birth on the East Coast.
That's when I was actually
You're
born.
older in the Central Time Zone.
I was actually born in the Central Time Zone.
Yeah, so it works out.
It works out just fine.
I'm gonna grab a drink to cheers with you.
I'm gonna pour more alcohol in my shot glass.
Everybody, let's take a drink right now. I'm gonna read off some of these comments right now. Thank you guys so much. You guys are really coming through for the Dune portion of this show. I hope you like my little still suit here. So my tiny victory says, I loved it, and our 12-year-old loved it, as did his 6th grade friends. Oh, so you just brought the whole class through, huh? And Morgan says, MH says, can attest that is how Haley is spelled. Okay. All right. So he knows Haley spelled that way. Will Frothy says, I'm definitely seeing this again. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm actually going to be seeing this again.
Yeah, we're going to see it, and me and Frothy going to go see it in thank you, Film Age. We're going to go see it in the Ice Theater, which is another interactive theater in Regal Cinemas. Shout out to Regal, send us
gift card. It's Bill's birthday. Give him a fucking gift card.
Film Age says, I saw it on 70 IMAX, so like actual IMAX, not like this shit that they try to say is IMAX, but it's not. They don't even have an IMAX, like an actual 70 millimeter IMAX in Chicago. It doesn't exist.
There's no space.
The one on the pier is not.
They closed it. They closed it down.
Oh, they closed that one?
Damn. But he says the 70 millimeter IMAX film, the dust, film grain, and scratches just added so much of it, I bet. Also some happy birthday.
Also some love for you, Nine.
I love your outfit, Nine. Thank you very much.
We got some fans of USBs in here.
Oh yeah.
Real quick.
Definitely be showing out. You know, I do it for all of you. Not just to preserve water.
He cares.
To serve y'all.
I appreciate the cosplay.
Real drink cheers.
Oh,
real drink
birthday cheers.
Shout out to all y'all. We really appreciate y'all.
Happy anniversary of birth to your favorite cousin's favorite cousin.
And I'm even going with your drink, tequila.
Cleanse the world.
Roll Tide.
Scroll Tide.
Scroll Tide, baby.
And you guys, honestly, you should look up how they made the IMAX version of this movie. They actually went through painstaking, like a process of like making the movie and then honestly, you should just Google it. You should just Google it because they went through a whole lot of shit just to make sure it doesn't look like too polished. It's
also you're doing 4K. You're not just doing IMAX no more. You're doing 4K. You're not just HD. You know what I mean? So yeah, they did. They had to dumb it down while also bringing you this dramatically awe-inspiring quality.
It is amazing. It is amazing the world of film that we got going now. You know. I mean, not necessarily
Argyle,
what
Rebel
they can
Moon.
do. Oh my god,
Argyle, man.
Madam Web. Oh my gosh.
When I was in Hawaii,
slapped the shit out of him on accident. Just did.
Right in his face.
When I was in Hawaii, we went to an aquarium and they had this big dome there, and it did a really cool interactive show about whales, but it was all 3D. So instead of having whales in captivity, it felt like the whales were literally swimming at you and around you. It was amazing.
Dude, it was the most
seamless 3D I've ever seen.
You got to send me a link to that. That sounds
but like speaking of what you're saying, like I get what you're saying. Man. Like, because last year I would honestly say like Avatar, The Way of the Water, it felt like a cinematic experience that I've never like actually experienced before. Like just the next stage of like what we're going to be getting in the future. Dude, and then this also feels like just big and grand, like you gotta go see it in the movie theater.
Well, I will say to that, I will say, because I saw both of them in 4DX Avatar was in 3D and this one was not available in 3D, which was an amazing decision. I feel like they're getting better at that because there's no need for 3D in everything. But when 40X came out, they were putting 3D on everything for no reason. And I feel like they did it right on this one. And also, I would suggest, man, first of all, to your point about yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sweet dreams.
What I would say about Avatar, since you brought it up, Avatar. No, I'm just saying Avatar and 40X.
We do this show way too late, I guess.
Avatar Avatar was, my God, so fucking good in 40X. Like I'm almost sad that I can't go back in time and take anybody with me because it was one of the most amazing things I've seen 3D wise. Period. It kind of reminds me of what Jeff was just talking about with the dome in Hawaii. Like it reminds me greatly of that. Yeah. But as far as with this one, like this one in 40X, I hope that no one had as good of a time as we did in this. Because
you know why? Because fuck you guys.
I feel like we experienced it the best way you could experience it. Like,
yeah,
all right.
Okay.
Like, because it was well done. It's not a movie made for 40X necessarily. Like action movies are typical. There's a few that are made for it, but like the way, the subtleties of it, like they brought you in on moments that you need to be brought in on. They, you know, it wasn't just shake you around
where you can like turn up and down, or
no, that's like the D box or something like that.
D box, okay. And then
40X this is like 40X is water hitting you in the face, air going by your head, like Alex says, to simulate bullets going by your head.
So are they just like hitting you with pocket sand?
No. They use tricks that when you're watching it and your sense of your dispensers
to really help make it feel realistic at the end, they actually stab you.
Your suspension of disbelief.
Yeah.
When you've already got into that, then those little things that they add kind of make you feel like you're actually in the movie. Man. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's a movie theater down here that's gone now in Austin that they were having an elf movie party, and at the end of it, they literally had fake snow in the fucking theater. It was awesome.
Oh, that's cute. That's cute.
Yeah.
And let's talk about the action a little bit in this movie, because the action is definitely ramped up because they did a lot of, like, I like to compare the first episode, I mean the part one of Dune to like the first episode of Game of Thrones, where there is some cool stuff in there, but there's a lot of set dressing. Don't you be
disrespectful, man. Don't you just
I'm not
sit up in here and be disrespectful to Game of Thrones, man. We just not gonna let you
I'm not gonna be disrespectful to Game of Thrones. But there's a lot of set dressing, and you know, like it's not the most exciting episode of all of Game of Thrones, but it definitely makes other more exciting moments in the show like that much more interesting. So
and
like
it's
necessary. Yeah, there's a lot of building blocks that we need to have. Nine, what did you think?
Man, okay, go ahead, Nine.
What I think of
the action.
Oh, the action. Okay.
Yeah, the action,
so the greatest part about the action in this is the scale of everything. Like it really makes everything come into perspective. In like, okay, so the scene right here when it's like the Sodom car are like just facing down the worms, and it's just like the big sandstorms are like. But I would say the best action scene was with Shani and Paul taking down the sand crawler, and their the ornithopter was on their ass, and it like drops down as they're taking it out, and it's got that like timing and weight to it that you really can't get. I literally haven't seen that in anything else. Maybe like with like it might be the same cinematographer, but Rogue One has like that great scale to it, and it may be like the same art director or cinematographer or DP at least that actually worked on those projects, but it's the heaviness of it all that really encapsulated it, and then of course the sound and everything. But yeah, what I think is interesting, one last thing before I go on a complete tangent, is that in the book, they don't really, there's not really like action sequences in the book. Like it's a very cerebral, like in your head book, and especially when there's like a battle or something, it's like literally just like
people talking about what happened.
There was like reading the comic, like reading the Batman comic.
Like it's people talking about what happened after the fact that it happened. It's never like
so not,
and
not
that's
like
what makes Dune
like 300
really goddamn hard.
300 like when you read the story
comic.
of Thermopylae, it is actually just it's actually just a retelling of what happened. It's nothing. It's
not even like that, like in depth though. It's more so like, yeah, we have this battle, and then we're just like going right into like, but this is like,
I'm just speaking to the fact that it's not happening during the battle, like you said. Just it's not happening during the battle, but in this we get a clear description of what's happening, and we get the actions, kind of like in 300 we the story is like told on paper, like told, but not.
I would say it's more so like, oh, this happened, but we're actually just trying to plan, like we're getting exposition of what happened in the battle, but while we're planning for future events, right? So it's just so like, I can't even call it secondary. It's like third, fourth dairy, if that's right. Like in the book, it's just like the battles are just not there.
Yeah,
and I'm trying to think of a comp, and I do think I have one, but we'll just keep pushing.
Yeah, but before I ask you what you thought about the actions,
don't ask me nothing.
Before I ask Gur what he thought of the action, I just want to say real quick from like that scene that you're talking about, where Paul and Chani are fighting, like the helicopters and everything. There's a moment where she shot down the chopper.
Who's she?
Amazing,
Johnny.
Chani.
Okay, because I'm like, you're just saying she.
I thought that was like a really great like sound design moment, because like she shoots down the chopper. There's this explosion of sound.
Shoot down the chopper,
and then we cut back to her. We cut back to her. We cut back to her, and it's pretty silent. It's pretty much silent, and she has a little chuckle. She has a little chuckle. She's like, yeah, like you hear the joy in her voice of like getting her shit done. And then when the helicopter crashes, the music just crescendos. Explosion of sound. I was like, this
but it's
is
also
movies.
delayed. It's also delayed too, because like it shows her like lowering it. So it's just like, oh wait.
Well, no, but
the reason is, did we just shoot right now, or are we?
It's not delayed because it's not delayed, and that's what I was trying to speak to earlier about the sound. It's not delayed when you shoot a rocket. It doesn't just hit something, and not just the distance. It has to penetrate the shield. So I'm just saying, like. I'm just talking about for our listeners. We have a listening audience as well.
Bill's just talking about penetration.
all the time, baby. Always talking about penetration.
Oh no! Join the
penetration.
Penetration.
Penetration is track 7 on Strangers with Candy.
Look.
Yes. Well done, sir. Well
man,
done.
we can't do tags with
that deserves another cheers.
Candy. We can't do tags with Strangers with Candy, because I swear to God, I will.
No, you're gonna get the wrong type of follower.
No, this is gonna be a 6-hour podcast if I fucking have to. Because ever since then, I've had "Love Me Sexy" stuck in my head.
Can you guys read this from Comics, please?
Oh yeah, Film Age says
it's easier over here. The film scale is what the equivalent of what Ben-Hur was when it dropped back in the day. Sorry, I had a microphone on my face. When it dropped back in the day, this is a benchmark film more than Avatar for me. I think that's what. Well, so to your point, let's just keep the comp, right? Avatar.
Another
James Cameron had already had like 3 benchmark films before he did Avatar. So T2. Yeah, T2, and then what was the other one?
Jack Drowns for Pussy.
Aliens.
Well, Aliens, but man, damn, there's another one. Anyway, the point being is, does it hold up? I don't know. The point being is that we already had those. This is this director's real benchmark film. Like George Lucas had Star Wars, which is what this is getting the comp to, and I think rightly so. This fucking
we're going to get the Star Wars killer.
So
this book, well, I can't say that because people who are not taking everything into account. You know what I'm saying? Because Dune was the inspiration for Star Wars, right? And Foundation was the inspiration for Dune, right?
Yeah.
So what we have to do is appreciate what's happened here, which is Dune finally getting its flowers, as it should have. It doesn't, to celebrate one, one don't have to tear down the other.
Yeah,
like we do not have to even compare them in a way that makes one less or makes one diminished in the eyes of our, of the beholder. Because swear to God, those two movies are 2 completely different movies.
Yeah. And to your point, like back in the day, Frank Herbert said, like in an interview, like I forget the quote exactly, but he said, "I'm trying." When Star Wars first came out, he said, "I'm trying very hard not to sue," because like there's obviously a lot of comparisons down to things like Spice and Desert Planets, and a lot of revelations that Luke has is very comparable to what Paul have, but there is I think he did have this appreciation.
I mean, what Spice talked about though Vader in Star Wars.
Baron. No,
it's very lightly talked about
in the first 3.
So in the first 3, not near as much. If it is, it's a pass off comment.
Thing, yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. So because I know for a fact they talk about it in the books.
Yes, but
that came out during the 80s.
Obviously. Yeah,
but they are canon up until the Disney purchase.
Well, I think that's what he was talking about. I'm trying hard not to sue. Right?
He was talking about the movies.
Oh, I thought he was talking about the books.
He might have been.
I think he was talking about both because you got it was a popular movie when it came out in the 70s, right? But Empire Strikes Back is the one that really blew people away, and I think that's because you had to have the setup, right? Just like Dune.
Well,
and Dune,
and Bill,
you have
Empire
to have
Strikes Back. We got another comparison to Dune. Luke, Vader, father, Paul, Baron, grandpa.
That's called the law, bro. I just threw you up. Let's talk about these softball.
Let's talk about the plot a little bit.
Well, hang on, because I've got a couple points on the action before we switch off.
Oh, right.
So the first is this fucking fight coordinator deserves a lot of props. I think one of the biggest things that's so impressive about this, yes, he is. I think one of the things that's so impressive about this is yes, we've got amazing battles, but we have amazing one-on-one battles as well as big war battles with so many people. Even just the battles between when they're taking down, those sandcrawler devices versus that final scene where they're all charging in. They're completely different monsters and they were all tackled perfectly. This one goes
towards use tackling. That was very good. I like what you did there.
Thank you. This one obviously goes a lot towards the author of the books and everything. But one of the things I love so much about this is how they're using nature as a weapon. How they're hiding within the desert. Like you think of a desert, you think of like a dead, desolate place, but they're using it to their advantage. They're using what they have, like to the point where when Thanos shows up, he's like, only 200 people.
Right? No, yeah, but I like
because
that.
They made such a difference because they knew how to fight in the desert.
Yeah.
And then the last one I had was I think one of the interesting differences between Star Wars, especially the first movie, and Dune is the difference between so Star Wars did have these big battles, but they were space battle. We had one-on-one fights, but it was literally one-on-one.
Yeah.
Whereas the space battles were just like, hey, he's out in an X-Wing and the X-Wing blows up. Okay. There wasn't a person. It's a machine. It doesn't matter. But this one, these big battles, these are these giant battles in space. So there's still the human component when you're watching them fight, die, win, all of it. It was, I can't get over how good the action was. That's it. That's all the points I had. Someone else talk.
No, I definitely agree. It was a big step up, and I think it's because they just had more of an opportunity to tackle into this kind of stuff. Because even though these things weren't necessarily mapped out in the books, and then this action sequence happened, and this battle happened. It laid enough groundwork for Denis to sort of have these action sequences, but also have it serve the story. It's not just superfluous action sequences. It's we're seeing Paul get more ingratiated with the Fremen. We're seeing Chani start to grow more affection for Paul.
Love that
and
shot.
We see how everybody is seeing Paul as
the
last action hero.
She's not growing. She's not growing affection for Paul. She's not growing.
Are you saying it's crescendoed and she's going the other direction?
She's growing. She's growing affection for Paul, but animosity for the Kwisatz Haderach.
She's getting horny.
No. Hold on, guys. She's not growing feelings for him. She has feelings for him first time she meets him.
Love at first sight.
First time.
So are you saying it's like a Trinity thing? Trinity Matrix?
No. Yeah. It is as far as the
and obviously they stole it from this. Yeah.
Narratively.
But the narratively, but what I'm talking about, and actually, the writer for the anyway.
Sorry.
She's not falling for him. She's lowering her defenses. She's lowering, she's already fallen for him. She is telling herself he's not the Al-Gaib.
He's not Neo.
Because she don't want to believe it. Because she's been told that she's the one that will fall in love with Al-Gaib.
This is like a Trinity thing.
This is like a Trinity thing, but my point was also that she's lowering her defenses, not growing in love. But no, her love for him has always been there and already been there.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I didn't even think really about that aspect of her.
It's because you hate women.
And Women Appreciation Month.
Wow.
Hate.
Let me tell you something. Almost everything I say is to set up a good joke.
Okay.
I would really love if we make a shirt that's just it's Alex saying I love women, but just giving the finger to a woman while he's saying it.
You know what? That's good.
It is just I feel bad for Alex that this is the running
new
joke
stickers,
but at the same time we're gonna run with it. Just a disclaimer: if there's any watchers that are,
I'm sorry,
for the
I'm
sake
the funniest guy
Alex
you ever met.
Doesn't actually I would actually say Alex loves women, but the running joke on the cast is Alex hates.
Well,
For the
It's
sake of
funny because it's the exact opposite of who he is.
Just a little.
For the sake of comedy,
detail.
I am willing to die alone.
Hey,
I'm willing to go down with this ship.
Look, Alex,
but I really
if
want
you have
to
say that you
refocus.
have to say that you love women, then you clearly you don't, right?
I really want to refocus.
That guy's like, hey, I have a ton of
black
friends.
My
My best friend is Mexican, and that's close enough. But
Really, Blake's your best friend?
No, hold on. Let Nye go. Let Nye. He was trying to say. He's been trying to.
Not trying to refocus.
He's been trying to serve this whole time.
I just really want to refocus and just ask about either like let's focus on the plot or the characters. What do you have a synopsis for the movie? Do you want to go through or
9 is one love.
Nine's one love is Dune.
I do want to talk about the characters really quickly because I want to get into the plot, like the beginning, middle, and end in a little bit.
Should we go from top to bottom, or are we going to? Should we go like from Paul? Because I feel like,
let's talk about Paul. Let's talk about the big
worst
elephant in the
Messiah
room.
name in the history of Messiahs, right? Paul. We're not gonna follow Josiah or something.
What's the name of the woman who will be our savior? Karen,
yeah. Karen.
or better, Deb.
My
father's name
shout out to all the Debs.
By the way. Shout out to all
the Pauls out there. Hopefully you're not a Messiah.
I do want to talk about our favorite performances from like our returning characters and our newer characters.
We'll get to that.
But let's talk about Paul. Let's talk about Timothy Chalamet for a second.
Timothy Chalamet.
And like his progression from like the first movie and the second movie and the conclusion.
Yep.
Gurr, what did you think of?
Yeah. What did you think about Timothy Chalamet?
Why are you Gurr?
Because you played the Doom song. And who sings it?
Because the grenade, the landmine that you stepped on.
That's from Invader Zim. And the person who sings it is his dumb as shit robot Gurr. It might be the most accurate name I've ever chosen. Let's be honest.
That might be.
That might be.
All right. I don't like Timothy Chalamet Ding Dong.
Okay.
I like Ding Dong. I don't know. I don't think he's a bad actor.
You don't like him?
I haven't seen him in anything. I think I've only seen him in this. I've probably seen him in other things and just don't even remember him, which I think isn't a good sign. In this, I don't know. There's points where I'm like, all right, yeah, I can get it. But then there's other parts where I'm just like, no. Like when he's trying to like give big speeches, I'm just like, really, this guy? Or when he uses the voice, I'm just like, bro, is anyone buying this? Or is everyone just kind of sitting around like, that's adorable?
Yeah, I've heard of people talk about like that last speech specifically, or where the speech talks in front of all the Fremen. You weren't feeling that?
It just didn't hit for me the way it should have. Now that being said, I can't think of a single person who I would cast as Paul. Because the other part is you also don't want you can't use a big name. You can't obviously he's aged out, but if he was of the right age, you can't.
A big name.
And I don't think it was a good call.
He was not a big name when they casted him.
He was an average.
To be fair,
he's like like coming up kind of guys. Like
so let's put it this way.
But I feel like
this is a ridiculous way for me to say this.
Frothy loves Chalamet.
So the reason I know of him is because I worked at a celebrity prayer candle company. And the reason we started making Chalamet...
That's not Timothy Chalamet.
No, that one's mine. But hang on. I got one for you. I got Pedro.
Did y'all do the Jesus and Miro ones?
Yeah.
I mean, if it's a celebrity, we made it. But so the thing is, we didn't start making Chalamet candles until Dune was announced, and he was announced for Dune.
I feel like that's like the most accurate thing to make for those candles too, because he's like literally.
Yeah,
Messiah. He's Mahdi. He's the Messiah.
Like exactly. So the thing was, though, until if I hadn't worked for that fucking company, I still wouldn't know his actual name.
Really?
I would be calling him Paul every time. He's not an actor that was big enough that I knew him outside of that. I also never saw Wonka because it looks stupid. So anyway, what I was saying before is like he's obviously aged out of it, but like if he was of the right age, like I don't think you could put someone like Ryan Gosling in this. He wouldn't be the right fit. He would take too much away from the role with his star power. So the issue is I don't know who could play this role better. But that doesn't mean that I think that Chalamet played it. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. Shamalama Ding Dong played it great.
Shamalamalar.
And again, I don't think he played it bad. I just don't think he was perfect.
I gotta salute every single time.
What about you, Bill?
Yeah.
What did you think of?
I just said it in Fremen right now. I just said it. You're so disrespectful. I know I cut everybody off when I said it, but god damn, Alex, it's so different. So disrespectful. Timothy Chalamet. What did I think about him?
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's cool.
It's Paulie.
Look, terrible name, right? Paul.
Paulie.
Paul. Hey, that's what I'm saying, right? Like,
Paulie.
Hey, you know, Paulie said we need to go and fight the war. You want to go fight with him?
I feel like it does make sense though, because that his name.
Bro, that's Paul. Like if Jesus was named
I actually
Kevin.
did it
exactly.
But this is the thing. I mean, Alex mentioned it earlier. That it's like a biblical name, right?
Yeah.
And then the Fremen has his true name be Usul, which is the pillar, and then Paul is like the
he becomes
upon this rock I will build my church.
So are you saying he went from a Jew to a Gentile? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, because
Paul actually I think it was the other way around.
Because Paul is like literally like upon this rock I will build my church, and then Usul is the pillar or the base rock. I
do like the idea that the Fremen were like, nah, Paul's too white. You got to pick another one.
I do like. So it's interesting that you were talking about Paul's names because
white boy.
Paul has 5 names. If like I was counting in
Alex.
this movie.
All right, let's hear it.
Damn, I don't have a ding button. Go ahead. Let's see. First one, number 5.
Number 5 is Mahdi. Number 2, Atreides. Number 3, Mo'adib. Number 4, Kwisatz Haderach. And the number 5 is Lisan al-Gaib.
Now called 9 al-Gaib.
Well, I think you forgot. There's actually 6 because you know what Joey calls him.
What that?
Daddy.
You're just going to call her Joey?
I knew that was what he was going to say.
Yeah,
that's why I had
the entire movie. I was just like, dude, you can't choose a name that close to Joey.
That's why I had this ready.
Body.
Whoa, what was that?
Sorry, what was it?
That bill got.
Sorry, I meant Johnny, not Joey. My bad.
Yeah,
and also if you're watching right now, you watch the whole video, like and subscribe.
Please like and subscribe.
Subscribe, guys.
Right there, him yelling. That was the part I was like, "Come on!" When he yelled at his mom, he was like, "They never chose," because like clearly, like her witch bitches did all this. Like, all right. When he was like,
"That's not hope,"
choose. I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
That's
not hope. No, that's not hope.
That's not hope.
That's not hope. That's what it was. I was just like,
"Oh, I love that."
They're so cute.
I love it.
Yes, the line is great.
But
he
again,
didn't deliver it great.
He is supposed to be like basically just like this twink kid
he's been raised in royalty. He's supposed to be raised in royalty.
He's prim, and he's literally on a water planet transported to a all desert planet. So I felt that, but like also with the aspect of him being on this psychedelic journey too.
Yeah, he is high the
Well,
entire time.
We're also forgetting though that he's upset because the Bene Gesserit, they
Bene Gesserit.
Bonnie Gesserit.
The Bona Fides.
Bonnie Gesserit.
Benny Jezebels.
No, the Bene Gesserit.
Reds.
Okay, the Bene Gesserit, right? They not supposed to give the Monichlorians to goddamn
the Jedi. Yeah,
they supposed to give it to women.
Yeah,
they're not
You know what I'm saying?
be.
Right.
So
Like his whole thing.
So
He
that's
was
why
supposed
he's
to be
mad.
a girl.
But
He
that's
was
what I'm
really
saying.
supposed to be a girl.
Yeah.
But no, but he
That
ended
was
up
what
being.
you're
Hold on,
saying is
But he ended up being a boy.
He's
he's a
trans, yeah.
trans hero.
because
He's
he
trans,
ended,
yeah.
No, it's not trans. But because
He's
he
trans.
ended up
Powerful.
being a boy, that didn't mean she just gets to put the fucking shit in her. That's why they was mad at her. So they wasn't supposed. He was never supposed to have the metachlorians, which is why she was trying to get pregnant by his father still, and why she did get pregnant, right? And she ended up having a girl.
Well, Benny
Spoilers,
Gesserit
God.
actually
No,
were
I'm-
able to control everything in their bodies. So like it wasn't that
That's why they can drink the
he got-
poison, right?
she was always supposed to get pregnant by Duke Leto.
Yeah,
But
no, I'm not.
She was supposed to have a girl.
a girl.
Right.
Wait.
But
so
I'm just saying. But look,
wait,
she
I have a
has a
question.
boy. She has a boy. She
Okay.
doesn't have to give him the metachlorian.
Yeah, she
She makes that
doesn't have to
choice.
train him in
And
a
that's what
weird
I'm
way.
saying.
Doesn't
And
train
that's
him in
why
the
he's
voice.
angry. Just to get back to what we were saying, like that's the reason he's angry. That's what he's trying to convey. That's why when she says stupid shit, he's like, "Bitch, I better not ever hear you goddamn." Because he don't hear all that.
Alex,
shit.
that's the most I've seen you flinch from a pill abruptly.
Because I was trying not to make sure my drink didn't spill.
All right, so I have
very
a question.
Okay.
Was she just getting was the sex so good her focus slipped, or does Paul's dad just have that exceptional sperm?
Yeah,
No,
well, yeah.
I mean,
it's
have you seen
literally
Oscar Isaac?
because of love. It's literally because of love. It's
Yeah,
like
it's
it's
But if
it's
she
the
can
Harry
control
Potter.
her
It's a
entire
Harry
body,
Potter type of thing.
but if she can control her entire body, why doesn't she just let the extra X chromosome in instead of the Y sperm?
Because she
Because
wanted him.
she
because he
wanted to
a
have
son.
a heir to like what
Right,
she
Have
wanted
you-
him to have an heir.
Oh,
right.
She's
Have you
selfish.
seen Oscar Isaac?
All right.
Have you
never
seen
mind.
a picture of him?
Ask a stupid question, get a stupid answer. Well, thank you. Yeah, all right.
Hey, you know what?
Totally
There
back.
is one scene in Dune 1 where he says, "I only ask of you one thing." With Leto,
Yeah.
he said, "I only ask of you one thing," and I said, "Don't watch Moonlight. Don't watch Moonlight. Just don't watch Moonlight."
It's the worst thing I've ever done.
It's the worst thing I ever done. Look, you will not have my baby if you watch Moonlight.
Quick, absolute tangent. Great movie. He's barely in. Annihilation. Back to you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Annihilation. Yeah.
Go ahead, Annihilation. Go ahead.
Ex Machina.
Can I ask about another character?
Ex Machina,
Yeah.
The desert.
Yeah, how do y'all feel about the desert? No.
The desert is a character.
What's his name? Sugar. What's his name?
Stilgar.
Oh, Javier Bardem as
Yeah.
That was a
Stilgar.
change.
Yeah.
That was a change for sure.
So,
A shotgun.
how do y'all feel about his character, and how do you feel? Because he basically is like a plot device.
Mhm.
But and then I have another character I want to talk about, Jamis. What would y'all feel
Jamis is
about
good.
this character here?
So like I didn't realize that like he was going to be funny. That was a change that was
Yes.
actually made from the book that I feel like they made so it works with modern audiences, like so they can actually get that cinematic, like people that don't read the books to like hop on board type of deal.
I feel like also that
I still
was-
loved it.
That
It felt like my
is-
Uncle Tio or something, you know what I mean? Like,
Well, so first off, did you say your Uncle Tio? Is his name Uncle? Because that's dope. Second, to tonight's point, you can kind of feel that the comedy was added for the movie, and I actually really enjoyed that. And I'm not a person who like, hey, every movie needs to have funny or needs to have their comic relief. I actually thought it fit perfectly with his character. And one of the issues I've had in the past, hopefully I can get past it, with trying to read Dune is like, it's very, very dry. So having that, because it's on a desert. Yep. Yeah. So
it's because of hackers.
Because of hackers. So having that character in there, who he's still, by the way, a very serious character, and he moves the plot along so much more than other people. But having those little quips and those little moments, it made the movie very enjoyable, and it was the absolute correct decision.
I would say so too.
I honestly he was one of my favorite parts in the first movie. Like, out of all the characters who, because they're this cast is stacked, but we get a lot of characters like Josh Brolin.
They rest on my arm like
what?
You said it's stacked.
Oh yeah. Like we get characters like Zendaya and Javier Bardem and Josh Brolin who get a little bit. So many Marvel characters. We get a lot of just little bit parts in the first movie that we don't really get a lot of development from. But Javier Bardem's character Stilgar, I really enjoyed him in the first movie. Like, he made me laugh a lot. Like, in the few moments that he was
funny.
Movie.
I felt like he was already funny.
Yeah, and you can already get like a really good idea of what his character is like. And I just love that he was just Paul's sort of like father figure in this movie.
Like, I felt like he also perfect. More than a father figure. He just paces this movie out in a way, and I think the reason that they added more for him, but the reason I think that they did do that is because they took the criticism of it being the last movie being boring and said, hey, maybe we can add something here to help this out, because it doesn't have to be fucking boring. You know what I mean? Like, because like we're talking about the books being dry, but
they're not though.
Like the desert.
But no, I'm just saying, like, it's hard to get into, and for certain people, it's hard.
That's what I did, Terry.
For certain people, it's hard to
microdosed
into the movie when they don't know nothing about the books. They don't know nothing about the 84 movie. They don't know nothing about any of this other shit. And some people going to see Dune too didn't see Dune and ain't gonna go see Dune. Like,
what?
No, that's just look. We watched
it with your son-in-law or stepson.
So we went and saw the movie, and he had never seen the movie, but he saw part of it. But he loved the motherfucking movie.
Yeah.
So
all right,
had no problem following it, which I thought was amazing.
Right. So let me ask you guys a question. How do you think he would have taken to part one?
He was
with
sick.
No context.
He was sick when he first tried to watch it, and he thought it was boring.
Okay, yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm saying. So like, but I'm even like outside of children. I'm talking about like actual people, actual adults. They have gone to see this movie, the second one, and did not see the first one. You know what I mean?
All right, I'm sorry. I got to interrupt you guys real quick here. You said 40X is like shooting air and water and shit at you?
Yeah.
Sarah's gonna have a time, yeah.
Did you see how Terry plans on watching the movie?
He's gonna
do a little.
I did that. I did that with Avatar.
You're gonna get arrested. You're gonna get arrested.
You did a gram of shrooms. It was like, okay,
I did more than a gram of shrooms. I did like an 8.
And you 40X'd with some
0.4, and I was
40X on an eighth of shrooms, and I fucking drank 2 White Claws while I was sitting there.
For a second, I thought you said the number 40X. I was like, you took 40 grams of shrooms to watch this movie?
40.
I would do it.
Interrupted enough.
Okay. I'm down.
Before we get to the plot of this, I'm just curious of. We usually talk about our MVPs. What were your? I'm curious what your MVPs of like the returning cast like and the new cast. Like we have the new
divvy
cast of like the
them
Austin.
up?
We got the Austin.
Yeah.
We got to divvy it up. You know, we got the Austin Butlers, we got the Florence Pughs, Christopher Walken, and we got all the original cast coming back.
Cannot be your MVP. She had very little to do.
I'm saying
no, you can't. You cannot choose Black Widow. Come on.
But Jeff, I'll let you go first. Who's your like MVP? Who are your MVPs of this one?
All right, so I'm gonna go with either Elvis or Rose the Hat.
Who's Rose the what?
The white guy that tried to kill him, or his mom. She's Rose from Dr. Sleep.
Oh shit.
She's a piece of shit. I fucking hated her in this movie, and she did a great fucking job. She nailed her role. That's the thing. Her and Austin Butler, Rebecca someone. I didn't actually. Rebecca Ferguson. Thank you.
Yeah, she's great. She's great.
Both her and Austin Butler. And the reason I'm choosing them is because they didn't have. Now, Rebecca had a lot more screen time than Austin Butler did, but neither of them had like a lot of screen time compared to a lot of other characters in this movie. But whenever they did, they moved the story along really well, and they nailed their roles really well. So that's why I'm choosing. It'd be between the two of them. I'm probably going to lean Butler, but I felt she needed to be included in the conversation.
Butler was on that freaky shit.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie.
Bro's whiter than I am, which is hard.
I just remembered. I don't know why this hit me, but I just remembered I saw Britney Spears the other day.
All right, changing the topic. Tell me. Did you get those digits?
Glass, just through a glass.
Cool. Next time, can you give her my number? I'm gonna disappoint.
Well, she is my baby mama, so you have to relax. No, I'm joking. I'm only joking about you relaxing. You can.
No, I know. Hey, all right. I do have a question here. I have a question about the movie and all of this. And I'm guessing Nine's gonna be my guy.
Yes.
Why does he look like just a really pale, peach-skinned white guy sometimes? And why does he look actually like painted white here? Is he?
Because they are on Getty Prime in these scenes here. Okay. And so Getty Prime actually has a dark sun and it's very polluted. So if I'm remembering correctly, this was actually the home world of, or the home planet of the Emperor. And then
Harkins?
they move. No.
Of Walken?
Yes, right. Not of the Harkonnens, but the Walkenens.
The Christopher Walken. They walked on out of that bitch and were like, we're going to have you guys take care of our armies. And like,
okay, cool.
So you mentioned pollution. Is it that the sun's actually black, like Terry said there?
It is.
Is the star black, or is it like shrouded?
No, like it is like a black sun, like very nearly dying, and then their atmosphere is so polluted that it has this. They live in an infrared spectrum.
And that can happen to your sun as well if you don't stop polluting this earth.
Yeah, stop using these fucking plastic straws.
The more you know.
When we edit this, the more you know it.
I gotta get that sound effect. Goddamn.
All right.
Yeah, I
did the sound effect. I want you to actually have it just like cut all of us off, and that goes across the screen every time.
I don't know how to do that. Yeah, I don't know how to do that.
We'll figure it out.
I did also like that to effect, because you see other times on Getty Prime where like the sun is down and all the color is normal.
I like that too. Yeah,
I thought that was cool. I was just curious,
but also because of
like when they're
the fireworks.
You get like the weird the ink fireworks.
Yeah, the blots that are, because
you know what?
happening
That's similar to last week. We were talking about Halo, and we were talking about how their blasts don't just look like pre-cum,
right?
But
the plasma.
This
stuff,
one was similar to that.
And
it shows, because what I didn't get a chance to talk about last week is water or liquid forming anything in CGI is extremely hard to replicate. So I just to our point earlier, like, man, what you can do in a movie these days is, man, with enough attention to detail.
You have the time and the money. Yeah. But
it's insane.
Just to say
real quick thing about CGI water. One of the few good things the Green Lantern movie did. Anyway, back into it.
There's a scene where Peter doesn't hold up.
Oh my god, I am in. It is so bad, and I love it so much.
That would probably be good before Deadpool.
Just to move around the horn, I'll just say like my two MVPs from the returning cast and the new cast. Chani Zendaya, like I feel like she's my MVP for this episode for this movie. Like she was really good. There's so many moments that I was so emotionally just invested in her character, and I'm really excited what she's gonna do next in the next movie for a lot of different reasons. And we'll get into that a little bit later.
She will be okay with it eventually. He's seen it.
Well,
dummy.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. But like she had such an incredible performance, and this is my favorite performance from Zendaya. I haven't seen her in a whole lot of stuff, honestly, outside of like the Spider-Man movies. But I really
Dennis
feel
movie
like
that's coming out looks so dumb.
Yeah. It's probably gonna get some like Golden Globe nominations, but
it's not gonna get that. It's that movie is 50 Shades of Grey for a black girl, a mixed black girl. And it's also to play on the idea that European white men have try to have pawned over and desired the black female.
So you're saying it's just gonna
fetishize
and exoticize her?
Well, no, what they're gonna do is try to empower her.
I hate this view, by the way.
She's going to do.
Why is it like this?
what she's gonna do is empower. She's gonna take the power back, right? Like she's gonna boss these dudes around. It's 50 Shades of Grey. It's 50 Shades of Grey with a black.
Okay.
I interrupted you. Alex was still talking about Johnny.
No, like Chani is like my MVP of the OGs cast. From the new characters, I will say Austin Butler as Fade is my MVP, but I'm not a huge fan of his performance. It's funny how he's doing sort of like an impression of Stellan Skarsgård. I just thought it was like.
I did not.
I thought it was very weird that it's so you're just trying to sound exactly like your uncle. I mean, I don't know. It was weird. It was a weird choice.
I thought it was a weird choice.
Are you saying they should have grabbed Bill for that character?
Yes,
I thought
absolutely.
There were times it sounded.
They wouldn't.
I meant Bill Skarsgård, but I would have loved having you on there.
That's the thing.
They wouldn't have me because I wouldn't shave my head.
That was one of the things. It's like, why not get one of any of the other 14 Skarsgårds to play this role other than Austin Butler? But also, you know what? He's got
Bill Kills World. Going to be doing that. Going to be covering that. Watch out for that coming out.
Covering what now?
Bill Kills World. I mean, Boy Kills World. Excuse me.
Oh, okay.
Because I didn't get that one. It was supposed to be called Bill Kills World. I didn't get that one either.
Real quick. Can you just pull up Alexander Skarsgård's IMDb photo? Just for no reason.
Oh my gosh, what is it?
Just what he uses for like his profile photo on IMDb.
Is it like him
Alex, you were saying?
But 50 years ago.
Yeah, go ahead.
You know what? Let's just pull it up and we'll talk about it then.
Let Alex go ahead.
Well, honestly, like when I was watching this, I was thinking like it would be kind of like meta and cool if they had Bill's or whoever, whichever Skarsgård is Pennywise to play Bill. If he played this character. Nine's caught in the upside down. But yeah, like I know that I have a little bit of bias because I saw Austin Butler and Elvis.
I just want to leave it there, but movie. I gotta get rid of it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I know I have a little bit of bias because I saw Austin Butler and Elvis, and I did not like that movie, and I did not like his performance in that movie.
I'm gonna be honest. Because of that movie, I was trying to hear his twang because he accidentally like caught the Elvis twang. That's the picture. What the fuck?
For some, like IMDb always fucking kills my stream.
He doesn't give a fuck, man.
It's so many.
I am sorry to have killed your screen, but I think it was worth it for the picture.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
okay.
that's his yeah.
The best part is,
damn, you know what? No, the best part is
the celebrities choose the pictures.
Terry said, "Did the image kill Nine?"
Did they?
Yeah, no, he did.
But just to wrap it up, I'll just say that though I'm not a huge fan of Austin Butler's performance, like I don't think he's like terrible. He does a pretty good job. But the character of Fade is so menacing and so unsettling and deplorable. Like I really love that character and the way it was depicted. So I still give him one of my MVP of the year.
I do want to point out that is actually the same with me. It's not the actor's portrayal, it's the character itself. And I think that last line of his was so perfect and so yes, that's what his character would do. Or say.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
What about you, Bill? Who's your MVPs of the news and the olds?
Man, you're talking about new MVPs for new people. Fuck them. I don't know. God damn. Like,
all right, what did you just give us your two MVP, favorites in the entire thing?
My favorite, my favorite. If I had to give an MVP for the movie, I'm going to go with motherfucking Al Ghai.
Oh, yeah.
Like, y'all are crazy.
Timothy Chalamet.
Like, yeah, he killed it.
You're a fan of Shyamalama Ding Dong.
I'm not a fan of any Ding Dong. Really I just feel like he did a good job.
I'm not a Ding Dong fan.
I'm not a Ding Dong fan. I actually don't like Ding Dongs. Like,
have you tried heating them up? Make sure to take the wrapping off. First.
No.
Alex has seen Arrested Development. What up?
No, I was offered that job in Hollywood once, but I turned it down.
You were offered Arrested Development.
I love the Shanti is hilarious to me. I love Ashanti. So are you talking about like Aaliyah?
I don't know what just happened, but it feels like I missed something.
Producer T's MVP is I Love Ashanti.
I'm wondering if he meant Aaliyah.
If I had to choose a second one for the new cast, I'm going to go with the embryo, the baby.
Anya Taylor-Joy.
Anya Taylor-Joy.
Anya Taylor-Joy.
She's in fucking everything.
Not Anya Taylor-Joy.
She played the voice of the baby.
But like there's the fetus.
And you actually see her.
So the embryo. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. That's who I'm rooting for.
Dude.
You know, I really want to get into the baby. I want to get into the baby stuff.
Roll Tide.
I want to get into the baby stuff.
You gotta keep talking.
I cannot keep talking while you're doing that.
Sorry, what?
But if I want to talk about the baby stuff later when we get into the plot, but I am curious.
No, wait, well, goddamn. You asked me who mine is. Y'all got to tell y'all who y'all's is.
You said you're a Shyamalama Ding Dong.
Yeah, but goddamn, I just barely. Fetus. All right, well, I just goddamn barely. All I have said is the name of my MVP. But go ahead, go on, move on. Go on now.
Point. Why are you such a fan of a fetus?
I haven't gotten anything else out. Go ahead on to the next segment. We got to move on. We got to move on to the next segment.
Birthday man. I'm curious, why are you such a fan of the fetus?
No, we have to move on to the next segment. Move on to
I just want to say fetus.
Fetus.
Well, yeah, what I was gonna say is I'm curious what you thought of Christopher Walken.
I did give my MVP though.
No, you didn't. Oh, you didn't give your MVP? Okay, go ahead.
No, I did not. But it was the fetus. Let me see if I'm like directing this right. The fetus. And then you said Austin Butler.
Me and
Kartz. Yeah, those are
and
the
then
new
okay, so those. But did someone else mention Chani though, right?
Yeah, Chani was on my. Yeah, Chani was on my.
Okay.
MVP, yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna say Chani also, just because like in the books she's a non-character. She's like immediately smitten with Paul. Like she's like literally just kind of like right there.
She's
and
what
also
moves the story in the movie.
Exactly. Like, and that's something that had to be cleared up in later books about like, okay, without Chani's character in the movie, it's very ambivalent about like, is what Paul is doing right or wrong? Or is this literally just like religious propaganda that's been sowed without the universe? And without Chani's character in this movie, it would still remain ambiguous. And I feel like her character really spoke for the audience, where you're like, yeah, what the fuck is going on here? Like, why?
Yeah.
Like, who's really being manipulated here? And who's speaking for the culture, right? And I feel like Chani's character works for the big screen. I think it also works for the book, but only because the book is more cerebral and you can get a lot more across with these characters. But in the book, she's almost like so much of just like a motivation just for the for the main character.
Happy B-Day.
Throwing up gang signs
from Japan. From Japan. It's been your birthday in Japan.
Yeah, it's almost not my birthday in Japan.
Wait, I'm sorry. Are you saying from the Japanese?
Yeah.
The Japanesies?
What is it? I don't know what thank you is in Japanese.
Arigato.
But, is it arigato?
Yeah.
Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Domo arigato.
What you mean with your chingy chang chong? I don't know what you're talking about. No, I'm joking.
Domo arigato.
But seriously, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know Japanese.
Well,
but
there's a song.
I know.
Arigato.
Hi.
Okay. Bill, Bill, repeat after me. Domo arigato.
Domo arigato.
That's thank you very much.
Join us on our Duolingo podcast every Saturday at 4 p.m.
4 p.m. Japanese time, whatever that is.
So you said like your returning cast member MVP is Chani, Zendaya.
So returning cast member MVP is Zendaya, especially since she was barely in the first movie. But again, watching these movies back to back, like part one and part, like let's talk about. If we're going to move on to the plot, let's talk about how this movie is literally like a part two, as in like it picks up right where the last movie takes off. It is striking.
Well, I'd like to know.
I'm surprised there wasn't a previously on Dune.
No, I'd like to know exactly when he fell asleep between the first one and the last one. I mean, the first one and this one. Like that's what I want to know. When did this nigga fall asleep?
Hey, he
just fell asleep on his cheeks.
If you ask him, he wasn't sleeping.
He wasn't sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't sleeping.
Nigga, yeah, that's what I said in geometry class. I used to say the same thing in geometry class. I wasn't sleeping.
I wasn't sleeping.
It was you was the one sleeping. Like, no,
the whole first book is like this. The whole first book is like this. When when all the Atreides are massacred and the Harkonnen are coming after them, it's like imagine you're having a mushroom trip and you want nothing to do but just get off of that trip. You don't want anything to do, but everything that you encounter, the air, the food, everything is just mushroom trip.
Yeah.
Like you're just fucking tripping balls and you want to stop, and it's just, and he's just being awakened the whole time. So like, is he dreaming? Is he kind of dozing off? No, he's tripping balls over there, dude.
Sounds to me like motherfucker got what he deserved. Just say no.
He's got a Dare t-shirt on, sitting in the middle of the desert, slapping at the dust.
Oh my god! Okay, I'm gonna say this:
it's fun fact.
If Shamalama Ding Dong goes on a red carpet with a Dare t-shirt, I'm changing my mind. I'm becoming a fan.
Roll Tide.
It's actually a fun fact. The scarf that he wears is a Dare T-shirt from 1992 that was bleached and tattered and fashioned to a hood. But I really like
the funniest part about that is that's a very accurate description of the Dare program as well.
Scroll Tide.
It's like a physical metaphor of the Dare program. But I really liked the story in this movie. We were talking about like the differences between the movie and the book and the 84 movie
masterpiece.
I kind of want to talk about the baby. Let's talk about Anya Taylor-Joy.
The fetus.
Because like we get this sequence where Rebecca Ferguson, Lady Jessica, she ingests the worm's poison and she becomes the Reverend Mother for the Fremen people, and when she ingests because she's pregnant and she ingests the poison, her child also inherits all of the memories and the experiences of all the Reverend Mothers from the past. So she's incredibly cognitive and aware as a fetus, and she's able to psychically communicate with Lady Jessica throughout the movie. It leads to some pretty comedic moments and also some pretty like prescient and ominous moments.
That's why she's
in the original or 1984, or are you talking about in?
We're talking about in this movie.
That's no. So in 1984,
in 1984, it's comedic.
Well, they're both used. They're both 1984 doesn't intend for it to be comedic.
Yeah, right. It's unintentionally funny.
Yeah, but in this one, I do think that they intended for it to be funny. And so the embryo, like it's not even a fetus, really, right? Like
at
the beginning, it's like nothing. But so they do show the accelerated growth, which is a part of the book. And it was also to a degree done in the 84 movie. But I do like how they were able to take that 1984 The Voice, like for the baby, they used it with the mother in this movie. Like,
man, I'm just thinking about Miss Prime.
her voice, because her voice didn't sound when she used the voice in the first one, it didn't sound like that.
Right.
When she finally drank the worm titty milk, she ended up like, which is also blue. Bantha milk is blue, and we are the Drunk Banthas.
Blue milk.
You should go ahead and check out the Drunk Banthas. We got merch.
Man, I thought you were gonna say you should check out our milk. Oof.
No, don't get my milk ain't blue. But when she drank the worm milk, she was able to see everything, and her voice changed. And you know what I mean? The voice of her voice changed into what they did in 1984, though, because we just covered the 1984 Dune. Does it hold up? So I thought that was crazy interesting, especially as I know that everything audio is chosen. It's a decision that's made. It's not by accident.
Yeah.
It
was.
Yes.
Oh, just eat a dick.
Yeah, I did think it was a little bit more like, I guess, practical and believable and digestible to not have like this like baby demon who was
baby demon.
Like this is a lot.
That's a great description, but that's not what they were going for.
this is a lot for
people, but it's what they got.
I said it's a great description. This is amazing.
This would be a lot for people to digest if like they decided to go this route. But I think that the whole like the pregnant mother communicating with her child worked really, really well in this movie. for like comedic effects. Like there's like moments where like Rebecca or for Jessica, sorry, would be like quiet. Like shut the fuck up. Like they're like little funny moments or like little moments where she's trying to convey to Paul.
I'll fucking ground you right now.
Do you want to see?
We know for a fact though, if we ever see a female do that in real life, we gonna be calling the psychiatrics, right?
Oh yeah, it's fucking crazy.
Not
anybody
a
else.
Fucking chance.
What?
I'm just gonna walk as far and fast away as I can.
If you was dating a girl, you got her pregnant, and then she started walking around talking to her stomach.
If she's arguing with her unborn child.
What if you touch her stomach and that baby's talking to you too, though? Like you'd be like, fuck.
I'm gonna stop taking so many shrooms.
You'd be like,
that's when we're going on the. That's when we're going on the Today Show. There is no loss here.
Now y'all look stupid because you're on the Today Show and the baby's not talking.
Well, I'll say real quick. I love the relationship between Paul and Rebecca, Paul and Jessica. I keep calling her Rebecca, but Rebecca Ferguson. But
Paul and Anya.
Paul and Jessica, like their relationship in the first movie, like I love their just mother-son adventure trope in the first movie, and it turns into something even more interesting and like deep and kind of sad in this movie. Yeah, and what did you think of what did you think of Lady Jessica's role in this movie? Because she seems very manipulative. She's kind of like a Cersei in a sense in the story.
Yeah.
Nine. What did you think of that?
Well, like the thing about it is that was also a little bit of a change too. Just because, I mean, look at her here. Like, I mean, just look at these shots. It's amazing. But
God, she's
what
so
is
white.
really great? She's so what?
White.
Oh yeah, she is a white motherfucker.
The tattoos on her face are just like, oh, girl.
But the thing is that what makes it really interesting in this context is that she's so like sinister as the movie progresses, as the parts progress. And I actually feel like that serves the story a little bit better, because especially when you're thinking about the fact that like she is looking after Paul to make sure that he is, you know, being taken care of by the Fremen. Like, and originally this is all just for survival, right? There's no way we'll survive out here if we don't have the Fremen support. But then she has her Aaliyah talking to her from inside the womb, literally letting her know that like this Kwisatz Haderach thing is going to, like, she's almost possessed. She's possessed with child. It is very interesting where it's go ahead.
Well, it didn't happen. Well, she did have a connection with the embryo before that.
Yeah, before that. But
so I'm just saying.
No,
so
and then she's still possessed though, because remember.
I'm only saying that she had that connection with the child before she took the worm.
Yeah.
Before she drank worm spoon.
No, I'm just saying. But to your point, once she took it, that's when the child started predicting things,
to corrupting, right?
Just as much as like
but even
as Paul was predicting things, like it was almost like, okay, I'm foreseeing things as well, which is why I thought it was good, even though she wasn't used like she is in the book or in the 84 movie. Where she kills her grandfather.
That was a really good change.
I feel like that was a really good change.
Read that book.
If you weren't going to do it, you know, if they weren't going to do it the way it happened in the book, I think this is the best way that they could have done it.
The thing is that Alia is also what the Bene Gesserit were planning.
Yeah,
right. Like what we're doing, like the Kwisatz Haderach is literally just one generation off. And Alia was supposed to be what Paul was supposed to be too.
Right, which is why it's Star Wars, because Anakin
there's
was
two.
supposed to be.
There's another. Yes.
Right. Well, Anakin was supposed to be the one that balanced the Force, but he actually wasn't. He's the one who actually caused war, which is the same thing that Paul does. Paul has a war cause in his name.
But when Yoda was looking up, like, okay, but there's another.
Exactly.
Right? Like that is literally, and what was supposed to happen is with there's supposed to be an Alia born, and then that she was supposed to be married off to Fade or one of the other Harkonnens,
right,
or whatever, and then that's going to be a Kwisatz that they can all. I'm gonna switch to Jeff here.
Ger, what are you doing? What is happening over there?
He's the sound guy. He does all the cues.
That's Star Wars. We gotta get one. We gotta get one of those that says the drunk Banthas on it.
But for my closing thoughts on Lady Jessica, I thought it was a fantastic change for film. One thing I feel like, okay, I'm going to say it again. I've said it a few times. Adaptations does not mean one-to-one. Adaptation means to try to create the best story for the medium that you're telling. There's so many things in the Dune book that you just cannot like actually conceptualize onto the big screen, and I feel like this is the best that you could probably get.
Yeah, the root word of adaptation is adapt. You have to adapt to the medium that you're creating that story for.
Tation meaning shut the fuck up.
Exactly.
So I think an important point about adapting it to a different medium is also adapting it to that time, which is a very important aspect as well. And it also reminds me, so there's a comedy show, Party Down. It's fucking hilarious. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. But there's an episode where they're fucking amazing. Right? They're doing a party for someone just convinced an amazing sci-fi writer to adapt his books to a movie series. And the issue is one of the books, one of the big characters is literally just an unseen telepathic character.
Oh yeah, the dude with the glasses.
Yeah,
he's trying to sell the
sci-fi. And the author's so angry because they're like, oh, we have to make it. We have to create a version of it within it. But the thing is,
great.
It's episode. A movie. You can't just have a bunch of people sitting around blank space and being like, good call, God. Okay, we'll go do that. It doesn't work.
Had no idea where he was going with that, but man, that is good. That's actually a good. That was good. That was good. You should watch Party Down. You should rewatch Party Down.
I haven't
season 2.
I haven't seen the new Party Down.
No, this is season 2. This is before they got canceled.
It's season 2. It's the main characters in this episode are obviously Adam Scott, Martin. What's his name? Martin with the glasses right there.
I can't remember his name, but he's also in
Silicon Valley. Yep. So it's him versus his old writing partner.
Lonely Island. Spider-Man Homecoming. He plays the doctor, the science teacher. But yeah.
Can I say back on Dune really quick?
Yeah, I was about to say
it's also like a side tangent.
Yes, always get back on. I take
a side tangent. Did you guys see? The internet kind of got into a stir about Zendaya's Dune premiere photo and her outfit.
Did you guys see that? Sort of cyborg thing?
Yes.
When I was doing,
she's a cyborg. I knew it.
This is the thing right here.
It's the coolest shit that I've ever seen.
Why did people get mad?
It's not the coolest shit.
Why were they mad?
But you can say that it's cool without over exaggerating right now.
I think it's the coolest shit that you've ever seen.
This will be the first time anyone's over exaggerating.
I didn't say it was. I'm just saying we don't have to do that here. We don't have to do that.
It's one of the coolest red carpet
The only thing I'll say about it is it looks more like I would expect it more for that old sci-fi movie Metropolis.
I wouldn't say
than anything, but who gives a shit?
I wouldn't say that it's completely like accurate to Dune.
Is that her
I wouldn't
booty
say.
cheeks out?
Is she pulling
No,
a
she's
prince?
wearing a body. She's wearing a bodysuit.
But her booty cheeks is out.
No, it's
She's
all
pulling a prince.
No, it's a body. It's like
What's that album?
Her tits aren't out.
No.
Like,
I guess you're misunderstanding.
but like right here,
those
like,
are her
like,
booty cheeks. So those.
I
are
mean,
out.
there's.
So,
I'm not sure.
Are you saying that her boobs are out here then?
Yes. How do you not see it?
Let me explain something to you guys about fashion. When whenever that area of your body is exposed, it's out.
The buttocks.
When you have your clothes, hold on. When you have your clothes on and those body parts aren't exposed, that's having your clothes on.
Okay.
So that means your body part is showing.
Okay,
then
but
it is.
her
it's
body.
out.
None of her body.
That's
is
actually showing.
Her head is exposed.
No, Alex, I can see her belly button. That's exposed. I know you.
No, it's not her belly button.
That's a
No, it's
reflection.
not.
Because she's wearing a
It's
bodysuit.
all metal.
Yeah, she's wearing
all bodysuit long.
So that's just brown because that's
wearing
That's
not
brown. It's
that's
like
not her
brown
skin.
because that's
She's
not her
wearing
skin.
a
No,
nude colored
that's-
singlet.
it's not her skin. No,
Exactly, it's a nude color. Y'all, you know what?
No, but nude
Y'all
isn't
don't know.
see-through.
Y'all don't know. I'm talking.
Nude
you
is
know
a
what?
color.
Women put it in the chat because I'm talking to 3 dudes about women's stuff.
I mean, that's true.
so women put it in the chat.
A woman didn't design that.
Well, so what do you mean? Are you saying it's exposed? Because if it's not exposed, what would make
I'm saying she looks
I
like the
don't
movie
think- like I
poster
said-
for Metropolis.
Like I said, this has nothing. This doesn't even have nothing to do with the movie.
It's an old
No,
movie.
it
an old
does.
sci-fi
It's
movie.
just a side tangent. I just wanted to like see if you guys had any thoughts
No,
about
I think
it.
I think it's super cool.
Honestly,
I
my
think it's
biggest
badass.
thought is why would anyone have a fucking issue with it? It's a red carpet outfit. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, who cares?
Let her wear what she
Well,
wants.
yeah,
It's
like,
her.
people were,
She's
like,
a
pretty
star
up
in
in
this
arms
fucking
about
movie.
it.
You know?
Hey, between this and the AMC butthole popcorn box, like this
It's
is
a-
gonna get
it's
all.
a
Hey,
the,
hey,
it's gonna
hey.
get all.
I wish I
Excuse
could've
you. That's a
gotten,
fleshlight.
Exactly. I don't know why you keep calling it that. It's a fleshlight. everybody knows it's a
I
fleshlight.
only
You're
saw the
meant
one-
to fuck it and then awkwardly eat your popcorn.
Okay.
I-
Yeah,
I heard-
Jeff, you're
I saw-
completely right here because I'm
Yeah,
looking at
it's the
this
movie
is
Metropolis.
I've never seen this movie.
I've
I've
never
never even
seen
heard
it.
about
I've
this
seen
movie.
posters of it. So there's a poster with
That is
that
a badass
robot.
poster.
No, there's a better poster.
Okay.
with
She's
that
only
robot.
seen it because she has nothing
Right.
else to do
No.
in her day. Except watch movies and
Yeah,
Yeah,
see?
read
but like
scripts.
right here. Oh, that's not it. Party down.
So yeah, that's her outfit. You know.
Yeah, like I it's not like on par, like it's not like totally accurate
it's not
to
one-to-one.
Dune, but it's like a sci-fi throwback that I thought was really
Yes.
cool and interesting.
And
Like, you know,
Metropolis is an
it's
old
fun to-
sci-fi movie. It's like one of those sci-fi movies that like everyone's like, "Hey, this was when Hollywood started going big sci-fi." You know.
Yeah.
I bet there's already Zendaya, Metropolis.
Yep, right there. Nope,
So,
the one
yeah,
next
like,
to that one.
With what?
So all right,
Oh,
go.
this one there.
Nope. 2 to the right of that one.
If you guys
right
are
here.
listening
Right
to any, if you guys are listening to this
Yeah, this is a
podcast where it's just
terrible bit.
audio only,
This is a terrible bit
you guys should
for
check us
the-
out on YouTube.
Yeah.
For the
But
audio.
I mean, I don't know why you're not. You know.
But let's talk about the ending of the movie a little bit because like there's been a lot of
Can
comparisons.
we talk about Jamas? James?
Oh yeah, you want to talk about Jamis? Yeah, like
Yeah, because like we get in the first one
I like
where we
Jamis
get,
with
a,
you.
we get a lot. We see a
Tropical.
lot of him in the first one, and it's like we expect him to be the one who's gonna be teaching him all this stuff. Like we know he's gonna, this is the main character. He's gonna be doing all these things.
right.
Bad
But
news.
then dude dies, right? But we see that he relies on the spirit of Jamis, like the whole movie, really.
Yeah.
In his lowest times, his lowest moments in this movie, he looks out to a dude he killed.
Right. And it's kind
So-
of interesting because like he's had these he's had these premonitions of these experiences with this character. So you can almost assume that he's had these emotional connections to this guy.
Yeah, but
and like is that's still there. Like it doesn't go away just because it didn't happen.
By the way, the point where I thought he was going to choose Jamis as his name, not Usul.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no,
because
that
like
would have been different.
Was,
that would have been different. That would have been cool.
Up to that point, he is really channeling Jamis, and like it looks like he sees Jamis as, like you guys were saying, a teacher, to the point where like I thought that was how, when they're like, oh, you need to choose your name now, or you get to choose your name now, I should say. I really thought it felt like, with how much they were leaning into the Jamis and his visions of him, it felt like that's how Paul was going to honor him,
In the book, it's actually since he killed Jamis in the book, he actually like has to take care of his family, and like his wife now is his wife.
Oh shit!
And
there's like this whole like water orgy in the book.
Wait. So first off, Johnny's not allowed to get upset when he wants to fuck Black Widow. Then he's already got an extra wife. And
that's what they changed. That's what they changed about it, because Johnny has no problem with him marrying.
In '84 they did a cross between all
marrying or owning.
In the '84 movie, they said that Jamis, what's her name? Whatever. Chani was Jamis's daughter.
Leah Kynes. Leah Kynes' daughter.
Wait, who?
No.
Remember the black lady with the hooks?
No. I'm talking about the 1984 movie.
Oh,
in the 1984 movie, when Jamis's character gets killed, it's actually his daughter that goes on to be with Paul. She tells him, like,
okay,
because she gives him a hint as to what to do, because she's like, hey, you gonna die anyway, so he likes to do this, but it don't matter because you're gonna die anyway. And then he just kills this motherfucker, and then she's like, oh, Bill, you're my husband now, like, you know what I'm saying? Like it kind of...
Bill, when you started that, I was like, wait, so he's banging Johnny but married to her mom? That's fucked up. That's a certain hub site video right there.
Yeah, no, that's something that I would not participate in. But I just felt like it was interesting that he killed him in the first one. And I think, and he still looks to him, but I think that in his mind, Paul was seeing things that were possibilities. And it wasn't until he drank the milk, the worm milk,
the spooge,
that he started seeing things clearly for what would happen instead of what could happen.
Right. Yeah, I'm really interested to see how that's.
So he may have had a whole life with Jamis in his mind,
right? Yeah, is he just like with is he like Doctor Strange with the time stone, where he's just like seeing all the realities at once?
Yeah, I think that's what was happening. Yeah.
Do you think he's seeing different dimensions?
Well, different possibilities, because he does mention possibilities.
Tomato.
When he takes the milk and he wakes up and he's good, he's like, I see all the possibilities are now clear, or something like that.
And at least unlike Avengers,
there's a narrow path.
He wasn't like just one. He's like, no, there's a few. It's not a lot.
But now he's got it narrowed. He even did this.
Nine. I like the update on the name
right here. It's like. The smoke does not last, but so in the book he sees all of the different paths like smoke in the wind, right? So like if you reach your hand out right where Bill is blowing,
get
right
a
there,
fan
right?
and a better lungful.
But then he sees himself as the fulcrum, so like he can literally push that smoke away, right? But like it's still just so like ethereal and just like so barely tangential, where it's just like ebbing and flowing all of these possibilities. You really can't see the next wisp. And then I love the line when he convenes with the Jamis spirit, where he's like, the hunter has to go as high as he can to see, because like smoke looks like sand dunes, right? So if you're at the top of the biggest sand dune, then the hunter can see all of the possibilities. So I really love it. I really love that.
And so I like also like
is awesome.
Just real quick, I also like, to your point, 9. I like the idea that he can see how everything. He's like, there's a narrow path where everything can work out okay, and we have to trust from his narrative that like everything's going to work out okay. That doesn't mean that all of the destruction and death that he's perceived isn't going to happen. But maybe he's like, okay, well, all that needs to happen just for like things to work out.
But everything doesn't work out okay, though.
On the other side,
that's the problem.
But yeah,
if you're going ahead to the books and through the story, I mean, goddamn,
don't go there.
I've been trying not to go invincible and just like read ahead of the class. And
I'm just saying,
read ahead.
All I'm saying, I'm not ruining anything. I'm just saying it's not okay. It doesn't get okay.
Well, that's I'm glad that you said that, because like I'm glad
that you're glad that I said that. I said that.
Like I was mentioning before, a lot of people have been comparing this to Empire Strikes Back, because it's it's a sequel, and
that's a villain pose right there.
It's a great sci-fi. So
why don't they compare it to Home Alone 2?
It's a really great.
That's a villain pose right there.
It's that's a I don't know.
He's gonna do a superhero landing. He's gonna do a superhero landing.
That's a villain pose right there.
No,
he was talking that shit. He was just like, nah,
that's a Dominic Toretto pose. Y'all gotta get out of here.
Your family. I do feel like that where Empire Strikes Back, it ends on sort of a defeat, and we're trying to figure out we're like really excited to see what happens next.
Yeah.
And this also ends up on a defeat, but only on an emotional level, because the heroes essentially win. Like the Fremen win, the Hall wins, but it's an emotional defeat. But also
they lose at the end though, because they say, "Well, hey, the houses." They said, "No,
right.
We're not fucking with y'all." Actually,
right?
Oh shit. Yeah. That didn't work out like we thought.
Yeah, we're not fucking with y'all.
But also we're like, still so hype off of this win. Like we're just like, yeah, of course they're gonna go like go off and win the day. It's like the end of Starship Troopers.
But that's what Zendaya was so upset about, though.
But yeah, that's what I'm getting to. Yeah, like we're like Starship, like at the end of Starship Troopers, like they win. Like they beat all the bugs, and they're gonna go off and fight more bugs, and we're supposed to assume that they're gonna win the day. This is the last Dune movie. We're just supposed to assume they go off and defeat all the bad guys. But there's also this like really emotional sadness at the heart of it, because of the relationship between Shalimar and Chani, where like they built this relationship, and like
the god.
And she knows all of the hypocrisy around the development of him as a prophet, but also how it's gonna turn out bad later, because he's already explained to her that like, oh, this is gonna end up terribly for millions and millions of people. Bill, I'm curious, how do you feel about just like their
milk though?
Yeah, that was before the end. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, but like the milk does it like you gotta understand that the milk, the blue milk, is actually just the awakening of his full powers. He still had that shit. He still had that shit.
I know, that's what I'm saying, is that he
and Aliyah still had that.
What I'm saying is Alex's train of thought that he was going down is under the guise of him, the way he was looking at his powers before he drank the milk, because once he drinks it, all of that is no longer relevant. Like all of what we're talking about and speculation of how he felt before that point is all speculative, because he was speculating. He was not sure, But after that, he makes clear, okay, yeah, all that other shit that I was talking about earlier, that's out. I now understand. I'm not afraid anymore. Remember in Home Alone?
I'm not afraid
anymore. You hear me? I'm not afraid anymore. That's when he went to the elders and told them, like, yo, try me. Because if you try me, all you'll be doing is ending your existence right now.
Yeah.
And you know, the reason that you sitting here even talking about it is because you know I'm that nigga. And that's what ended up galvanizing everybody, which is what he knew he needed to do. And he was afraid of going down and seeing a path because of the path that he saw. Excuse me. He was afraid of going to the south because of the path that he saw. But if you go back to the first movie, they gave you that through Jamas.
Yeah.
Jamas, you saw him throughout the whole movie in his dreams, but guess what? It happened differently than he saw. And before he fights Jamas, he sees himself die. Yeah. So he sees himself lose that. So they established we cannot rely on anything that he actually is seeing.
Yeah.
So everything that you see him seeing is wrong until he takes the poison.
We also see a vision of him being killed by Chani, if you guys remember that in the first movie. So I'm curious.
Yeah, the knife, the Christ knife, is literally kind of the fulcrum of this. The tooth of Shia Lud is the fulcrum of this whole story here.
Yes.
And it's represented through if I'm following this path, is it the women that I'm following, which I think is fucking awesome. I don't know which woman I need to follow here, because it's all leading down a path of billions of people.
I think women's history month.
Follow the fine one. That's what you do. Follow the fine.
Dude, so many of them are fine in this fucking movie. You're not helping.
All of them. Every single one of them.
Well, one of them is mom. One of them is his mom. He can check that off the list.
He was following her. If I
follow her, but he don't have to follow.
And then there's the scene of oh, if I follow anyone else, then I see my baby Zendaya get literally fucking burned to death.
Freddy fucking Krueger
by the atomics.
Yeah,
Freddy Krueger.
That to me,
and it's really interesting.
To the point where
again on the night
when he ran up to her on the dune, he was a little afraid.
Yeah, but that goes back to what I'm saying. That's all. That's why I'm trying to point that out. Everything that y'all are talking about is before he took the poison, but those are not reliable thoughts. Those are not reliable visions.
Are you saying those are?
And he even makes that point.
Narrators?
Exactly. He's the one who's pointed that out because he confirms it. You see it in the first movie, like you just pointed out twice. I pointed out one, you pointed out another. You see it in this movie all the times that y'all just pointed out right now, and he confirms it at the beginning of the third act. He says, I can see it clearly. All of the other visions were just, he can now see exactly. Open your mind. It's mas claro. You know what I mean?
The rain is gone.
I feel like every vision that we saw in this movie before that moment is just theory. You know what I mean? Now you're in the realm of what is going to happen. But yeah, can we talk about?
Can we talk? To your point, I feel like that's the scariest part of all of this. Is just he's just so focused and
well, he ain't no little kid no more, man.
Yeah,
you want him to stay a little kid for the rest of his life.
Yeah, I'm just
you
so
just
excited.
like little Polly.
I'm so excited to see what's gonna happen next. Yeah,
here's my thing, Bill. He's so sure that after drinking the blue worm, I won't call it spooge because I'm going to be nice.
I call it poison. I started calling it poison, which is what it is.
It's like bile more than anything. Right?
They call it poison.
Exactly.
They called it poison.
But
know,
to Alex's point, they shove it down their fucking throat. That's basically bile then.
Yeah.
So is he drinking worm stomach acid, which would also make sense. But anyway. Well, the part that I'm on is so after he drinks it, he's got much more clear visions, but it's still just The part to me that if I'm Christ Paul, I'm just sitting there like, how do I know that these are the correct visions or the definite visions, as opposed to like, especially because the entire time he's been seeing so many and so many different ones.
I got an excuse for you. I got an explanation for you. Because it's like when you get drunk one night and then
just one night,
and you wake up the next day and the homies are telling you all the stuff that happened, and you're just like, I kind of know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. But then when you actually like go to a place and then you all of a sudden remember everything, that to me is what took place. It's not like it's not like he had to come to a conclusion. Like he didn't know. He's just going out here trying. But now all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, I did hit that tree and I left. I left my car. I ran into the woods. I left my car. Right. I shouldn't have did that.
All right. I can get behind that.
I think that's kind of like what what they were going for, which is what a lot of people didn't like about the first movie. It's like that wasn't an explained thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they did a lot of things, like the black woman who went
Leah Kynes,
and in the first one, she tried to call the worm and she got killed. But so we never even get to really see what the fuck she was even actually trying to do.
And the crazy thing is that in the book, Leah Kynes, that black woman, they gender swapped her, and that's supposed to be Shawnee's dad.
Yeah, it was Christopher Plummer in the 84 movie.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just saying, like, there was a lot of things that they did explain, but it may have gone over as just like
it's supposed to.
I'm just saying it might not have gone over as smoothly for some viewers because you got to remember a lot of people don't know none of the shit that we talk about. They just saw the first movie, they saw the second movie. I'm just saying, so that's what makes it actually a great movie, is because all of those things are getting conveyed for the viewer who has not ever seen
the
or
first thing that I said to you guys after I saw the movie. I was like, this is one of the moviest movies I've seen in a while. And it's because like there is so much imagery in this movie where it's just like, we're going to show you these things. It's going to be a show, don't tell type of situation, right? It's going to be a show, don't tell situation. And you're still muted, by the way, Alex. If you it's going to be a show, don't tell situation, but we are still going to put you in the mindset of these characters where that's how they're going to negate any of the voiceover stuff that we got from the 1984 Dune, where it's just like, and go watch our Does It Hold Up with Dune 1984, because you're going to get some hilarious bits with Terry doing a voice, like he has pre-recorded voiceovers. He has the pre-reducer voice. Oh my god! Like I was rewatching it today, and it was cracking me up. But I think I will be going live and talking about this movie again, if not making a video.
I'm going on Thursday. I'm going on Thursday.
9 your deep dives are.
I mean, for 9 Nerd Yards, we'll be doing the damn thing, because I kind of just want to just rant about this movie to on full end.
Honestly, I feel you, man. Because honestly, Denis Villeneuve, he exclusively makes spectacular movies. Sicario, Arrival.
Fucking
Blade Runner
2049.
2049.
Blade Runner is nowhere as good as Arrival, though.
He makes nothing but bangers. And to that point, we have any final thoughts on Dune Part 2 before we close out the podcast tonight? Gur, I'll let you go first.
Super duper random one. I don't know. I love the helicopters that are dragonflies. I think
that's a cool
ornithopters,
right? Well, so it's
the sound design for that is fucking amazing.
100%. Well, so it's one of those things that I remember. I remember thinking while watching it. I thought it was brilliant because, like, I forget. I read a book a very long time ago. It's called
One
What
Book.
Do You Care? One
book.
fucking book. It was not Dune. It was actually, but it was Heretics of Dune. Evidently, that's the third book. I don't fucking know. Anyway, it was called What Do You Care What Other People Think About You? I don't know, man. I've read none of them.
Right? I don't know. I'm never reading all of
them.
It's like
I read a book
a
long time ago.
Yes.
Yeah. It was called What Do You Care What Other People Think About You? It is a book written by a scientist. And one of the things he says in it is, and this has been it's been paraphrased by other scientists, but the greatest designer or engineer is nature. And that's one of the things I love so much about this movie is because those helicopters, they take the dragonfly design. But then again, the reason the Fremen were so effective, even before they had their giant Southern army, was they fought using the planet. It was amazing. Yep. Right. Thank you. God, how did I forget it was Feynman of all goddamn people? Anyway, it's a really great book though. Check it out.
Okay.
But it's one of those things where
how could you forget that hair?
Because I'm a Jaguar. But so it's one of those things where the entire point of it is, nature is you don't design better than nature. So the idea of them using nature for their fights was amazing. The fact that we have these horribly technologically advanced super white people but they still can't beat nature. I thought that was awesome. Like I said, this is a movie, and this is the thing. This is a movie I did not want to see. If it were not for this channel, I would not have seen it.
You're welcome.
And that would have been a fucking mistake.
Well,
I feel like though, like you would have heard about it and then you'd been like, actually, let me go check this.
I'm curious.
I would have waited and I would have watched it. I would have waited and I would have watched it at home.
To the
but this is a movie you need to see in theaters.
To the point of there being extra white people in this. Hello. I'm curious as to how y'all feel about those extra white people being extra white, bald skinheads, as opposed to being like they got alopecia or something. But as opposed to that, I mean,
keep her name out your motherfucking mouth.
But as opposed to them being redheads, as they were in
really?
1984.
So they were like traditional albino in the original.
Everybody was just redheads in the first
9. What about the books?
What do you mean?
Were they bald or was they
in the books? Were they alopecia or were they ginger fucks?
Yeah, there's not really much to say about the books. Like you can kind of get the I feel like what this movie does good is because you pick up on context clues because we do know about like the Dark Sun and all of that. So that's what you would think that they would look like. Okay. But I don't think there's not very much clear descriptions of like all of the people.
But you know what they look like in 84.
Well,
but you know what they look like in 84. But like this movie was kind of like 64.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm
saying?
Is
it kind of like the Harry Potter play where there's a black Hermione and everyone's like, oh my god, how dare they? But then like if you look at the description of Hermione, it doesn't talk about her skin color. It still fits.
Exactly.
Is it like Jesus, where her hair was made of wool and her eyes of bronze? Her eyes of bronze.
Like in the book, you can literally say like these.
The biggest thing in the
then Sunni religion, and it's like, okay, I'm picking up what you guys are like. It's an allegory for
she's black,
Lawrence of Arabia.
Hermione's black.
Allegory for the Middle East and like this resource that everybody is fighting over that you want to slowly intrude on, right? So obviously they're definitely not white people. The Fremen aren't white people, and that's one thing that you motherfuckers on the internet need to stop doing. People were like, "Oh, look at what they had for Chani in 1984. This pure white woman or whatever with blue eyes." I'm like, bitch.
Like, even know what you're talking about.
Like, shut the fuck up.
Everything.
Jesus Christ.
For
all you people freaking out about this shit.
No,
people who live in deserts aren't. People who live in deserts don't look like me.
Like people are literally complaining on the internet about.
I mean, quit complaining about goddamn movies, man. Goddamn, Michael Clark Duncan played the Kingpin.
Also,
shut up.
If you want to hear us complain about movies, way more go ahead and watch Does It Hold Up every other day.
Because what I always say,
except the episodes I'm on, I tend to love them all.
I haven't said this in a while, but I used to always say it back in the beginnings of this podcast. And it's,
perfect timing.
It's basically that if you feel like you don't like these movies, if you go to a movie theater and you see a sci-fi movie or a fantasy movie in this case, right? This is like sci-fi and fantasy, right? Like, if you fall into that category where you don't like it, it ain't for you, nigga. It's for kids. It's for fucking children, you fucking weird ass nigga. Like, if you don't like it, stop fucking watching it. Go watch something else.
Or it's for other people.
I'm saying if it's not for you, it's not for you.
I'll tell you what.
You have to remember that you're watching a children's like book, a children's movie. Like,
I'll tell you what. Yeah, first off, yes. I'll tell you what. If you're real pissed that you go see a sci-fi movie and anyone doesn't look like me, then just go watch Starship Troopers on repeat. They all look like me, and well, you're probably gonna like the message a little too much.
I know it may not seem like a children's book today.
A bit too much.
I feel like I know it may seem like it's not a children's book today, but in the 60s, you didn't have nothing else. You gonna read Ahab and Three Musketeers and all that shit. Like, I mean, all them books was books that you was reading as kids back then.
Back then, they had to read. They didn't have TV.
Exactly.
We got on
just fucking and reading.
We got on such a tangent. I don't remember if we got final thoughts from everybody.
Mine was just thank all of you for making me go see this. This movie was perfect, and it needs to be seen in theaters.
That's right. Yeah,
and it's coming from the person who did not want to watch it.
9, what are your final thoughts on Dune Part 2? Still suits.
Denny Villeneuve.
Should we just download the USB?
Blessed be the maker. May his passing bless the earth. Jesus Christ. This movie was insane. I'm pretty sure like you're going to have another chance to watch it. If you don't catch it this round, I'm pretty sure when Dune Messiah comes out, there's going to be a three-peat. You're going to be able to watch this movie in theaters sometime, but go and watch it right now because it is really, really good.
Like upsettingly good.
Upsettingly good.
Final thoughts?
I'll be quick, man. You know, I'm usually I'm the resident hater on this podcast, and
I thought that was Terry.
Well, I'm talking about on the Drunk Banthas
or
podcast.
One of his clones,
because
they were neck and neck. And
I don't expect y'all to go back and watch no. I don't expect y'all to go back and watch no old episodes, but the way it was last week with Madam Web. That was basically every episode for me and Alex when it was us by ourselves. It was basically every single episode. So I say all that to say that this movie was probably one of the best movies of all time. Now, I don't normally do that. I don't do that. I'm not a prisoner of the moment. Now I might be mad at myself 5 years from now. You know what I'm saying? Like when I go through it and I find when we're able to sleuth through the whole thing, and I might not like that. I might not like that take that I just made. But
I like that you say I might not like that with that picture of Zendaya right next to you.
Dude, this is how I felt. This is how I felt when I was walking out the theaters. I was like, oh, I was literally about to buy another ticket to go watch it again. So I was like smiling from ear to ear as a giddy ass kid.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And look, because I didn't have that vibe. That's how I know I'm a truly objective movie critic.
Observer?
Because like I didn't have that vibe, but I can honestly say this is one of the best movies of all time. Like, I mean, fuck all of the special effects and all that shit, man. Like that's gonna be what people really point to. And it was a great story being told and being performed by great actors, and that's really what made the whole movie. Because it could be, we've seen all that now. You know, we've seen all of the fucking movies that have great special effects and
we didn't even talk
terrible.
About her.
Because we shouldn't have. Honestly, we shouldn't have talked about it. She's a
non-character.
I'm a Miss.
Fuck you, Black Widow.
I'm a
Miss Flo.
I'm a Miss Pugh fan.
Miss Flo.
But I just can't even. I don't even feel like we should talk about her. Like
Correct.
we should talk about her as much as we did about Christopher Walken, and that's it. Because they weren't in this. But I like how they did that in the second movie. I mean, in the '84 movie as well. We basically don't see those characters. Her character does like voice over it though, like she does in this one to the beginning, and I guess that's what happens in the book as well. She's like a narrator of things that are happening.
In the book, every chapter starts with just like a little segment from her, but we still don't.
That's fucking her.
That's Princess Erlin or whatever, and we don't actually see her until.
From Manual of Muad'Dib.
So like as she's doing those
at least they're only a paragraph in the book.
Journal entries, that's every chapter starting with her quote, and then we see her actually at the end, but she's a non-character in the book.
Right.
Yeah. I'm interested where this next movie is going to go.
I think she would have more. She'll have more of a big role in the next one. Yeah.
Yeah, probably. And it seems like they have kind of carte blanche to diverge from the source material a little bit and make something that's a little different. But guys, before we have a 6-hour podcast, because we could definitely talk about this for 2 more hours if you let us.
The Bantha Bunch show.
We're not gonna do that.
Bantha Bunch show. It is my birthday. It is my birthday. Shout out to me.
We're not gonna do Killers of the Flower Moon to you guys tonight. But before we get out of here, sorry.
Oh, you didn't do your final thoughts, did you, Alex?
He did them real quick.
Yeah, nobody else. If you want my final thoughts, you can watch my video of the drunk review that I'll put out in about a week or so.
Okay. Cool.
I was just gonna say, I'm gonna be on live for all the Bantha Bunch fans out there, the Bantha Bunch listeners and viewers. We're not going to be going live on Tuesday anymore. We're going to be going live on Thursday, and we're going to be going live at 7 p.m. Trying to get an earlier start for those East Coast listeners, those Central Time listeners, and participants. Yeah, we're trying to make it earlier, and we're trying to make
you know what they say. Hey, you know what they say? Tomato.
Yeah, tomato
temptations.
Yeah, so I'm trying to make it easier for everybody, like give it more spaced out from this day on Monday, and then doing it on Tuesday is really hard. But we're going to be covering the same stuff: Playboy murders, different documentaries, and the top 10 sitcom theme songs. We're still getting that going from the 90s. We're doing the 90s right now. And But yeah, join us over there. We'll talk more Dune. We'll talk more Dune. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want to talk more Dune, but yeah, let's get it in. Let's go.
Yeah, definitely check that out, guys, and check out the other episodes because they're still available on the YouTube channel. Yes. Before we get out of here, where can the people find you?
Real quick before we get to that, I do think we should call out Film Age's last comment here. I think it's a good one. And Film Age Studios says, this is a benchmark of modern cinema. Many influences will be drawn from this film. I could not agree more.
Well, that's the only thing I'd say about that is it's too late. This is already literally one of the pillars of sci-fi. So
you're right.
What I'm going to say about that is happy birthday. It is midnight here in Los Angeles.
Whoa, and we made it!
Frothy.
We made it!
Thank you, Little Frothy, for the happy birthday. Shout outs to Billiam here.
Yeah, Frothy. Let's do the shots. Shots. Let's do the shots. I knew it was going to be a 3 hour and 45-minute podcast only because I knew exactly when my birthday was.
Looks like we made it.
That's right.
And I'm still wearing my still suit.
The Banthas. No, I'm sorry.
I guess the only song that we can play right now is.
Yeah.
Anniversary of birth, my brother and everybody's favorite cousin's.
You know what?
Cousin.
First of all, shout out to my mom.
Favorite cousin.
Let's go.
Yeah, every birthday.
Yeah, man. This is the day she did more work than me, man. Let me tell you.
You know what?
I've heard.
Thank you, mother.
I didn't want to do another, but it is at your time, your birthday hour. So
that's right. That's right. Shout out to my dukes, man. You know, my dukes is out here doing it because she worked harder than me this day. I'll tell you that.
All right. Glad I know you, ass wipes.
Let's go.
Cheers.
Alex, where can the people find you?
You guys can. We'll do me last. Actually, yeah.
Nine. Where can the people find you?
So the people can find me on 9 Nerd Yards, of course. That's where my domain. That's where my domain is. I mean, I am the 9 El Geeb, the 9 Hadarach, as you might say, 9 Deeb, you might actually say. And I also just wanted to point out this little thing here. We have a little poll that I put out earlier, saying, did you like Dune Part 1 or Part 2 better? And Dune Part 2, blowing that bitch out. Blowing it.
I do have a quick question about that poll.
Cinema. That's why y'all don't understand cinema. That's what it is.
So
I'm joking.
Quick question about that poll. That's 17%. How do we block them from viewing anything of ours ever again? They don't deserve it.
Wait, block them?
Well, yeah, and they don't deserve it.
Yeah, I mean, we could talk about that. We could talk about that on a
Uncultured swine.
Oh my gosh.
Because I'm going to do I'm for sure going to do just a Dune cast on.
Thursday, 7:00.
Might have movie files on if he agrees, if he wants to, if he comes around.
Yeah, guys, if you want to go across,
I'd love to hear his takes.
If you want to,
he's got great.
If you guys want to go across the full Duneverse, obviously we're going to be talking about this. We're going
to be talking about this for years.
Yeah, Bill's going to be talking about on the Bantha Bunch. I'm going to make a video. Nine's going to be making a video.
Yeah, you'll see us on Nine's video if we go live with movie files.
And also,
Kirst's going to read a book.
I want to say. Oh yeah. So also I want to say thank you because I finally did drop that one last scene video for Atlanta. I used a song from some artist that you might recognize. They're a up and coming band called IntoNever. And I feel like it very much complemented the video. And so thank you guys for getting those views up and 126 likes, 100% like to dislike ratio right now. So, so like you guys like it. You like me. You really like me. Type of shit. So thank you very much.
Yeah, bro. Like honestly, like I always say, this was a huge fan of yours
Always
way before we even met each other through these YouTube channels, and this is just another really great analysis of Atlanta and the last scene. Guys, definitely check that out. It'll be in.
You're only saying that because I literally ran the whole script through you before you. I was like, Alex, what do you think about this? He's like, okay.
God damn it, Nine. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Imagine what he would have said if he actually wrote it. It's like just wrote it.
He's like, yeah, it's okay.
Gur, where can the people find you on the interwebs?
Well, thank you for asking. As usual, the best way is probably to try and Skype me. You would go to Don Cheadle's driveway at littledickie2.com. It's because of the hackers. Other than that, I just want to say, in the week before the departure to Arrakis, when all the final scurrying about had reached a nearly unbearable frenzy, an old crone came to visit the mother of the boy Paul. Hang on, we got a couple more hours to go, guys. It was a warm night.
No, like literally read that out.
It's gonna be a 9-hour podcast.
Right. No, you can find me Jeff Madel on Facebook, at Madel Jeff on Instagram. But honest to God, the easiest way to find me, check out Nerds at Night and Drunken Banthas, because I'm usually here talking about nerdy shit with people who are much better at social media than me.
Better at social media than he, but not better than better at social media than he, but not better at research and information. I swear to God.
Just a fucking dork.
Yeah.
Oh, hey. You know, that's just how it works, man.
Yeah, we're all nerds here, and this is a safe space for nerddom. Guys,
you're
thank you
a nerd
so
about something.
Yeah, everybody's a nerd about something, whether it's cars or comic books, and we appreciate all of you guys.
Or joking off.
Thank you for listening to the Drunk Banthas podcast. We do this every Monday at 8 p.m. Pacific time, but do not forget to like and subscribe so you can get updates on new videos. Check us out on Twitter, IG, TikTok, Letterboxd, likewise, all the internet things at the Drunk Banthas. Until next time, stay safe, my little sandworms, and may the force be with you.
And also with you. That's from